सर नमस्कार. Sir, within 2 minutes we'll start. लवानी सर, आपण गुड मॉर्निंग.
Good morning, good morning.
एक 2 मिनिटात सुरू करूयात सर आपण.
Yes, yes, no problem. I'm ready for that.
थँक्यू सर. बनकर सर, राऊत सर,
हाँ सर.
63 participants are joined now.
Start करूया.
And speedily others are joined. I think shall we start now?
Okay, okay. Lavani sir, good morning. वागसर सरांना एकदा कन्फर्म करा.
Yes, yes, sir. Third line. Right. Sir, with your permission, shall we start now?
Yes, most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
आता मी एकच मिनिट विचारतो. आता मी बोलत आहे.
Yes,
आवाज स्पष्ट येतोय का?
yes, sir.
हेडफोनचं जरूर नाही नसेल ना?
नाही काय आवश्यकता नाही सर.
दिस वुड बी मोर कम्फर्टेबल बोलताना. ओके, चालेल.
तुमच्या बाजूला जो एक ऑब्जेक्ट आहे, बरोबर आहे? ते समोर आहे की पाठीमागे आहे तुमच्या? नाही, पाठीमागे आहे. सॉरी,
हा,
कपाट वगैरे काहीतरी आहे ना, ते पाठीमागे आहे. मला वाटलं काय हे आहे.
नाही पाठीमागे आहे.
येस. आणि तुम्ही पाठीमागच्या वस्तू सर ब्लर सुद्धा करू शकता सेटिंग मधून, म्हणजे काहीच दिसणार नाही तुमच्या व्यतिरिक्त.
हो, ते कुठून करता येते आपल्याला?
हम्म,
आय एम नॉट दॅट एक्सपर्ट.
नाही मी सांगतो, काहीच अडचण नाही.
ऍडजस्ट बॅकग्राऊंड अँड इफेक्ट्स असं आहे का?
येस, तसंच काहीतरी आहे. मला ते ऑप्शनचं थोडं कन्फ्युज आहे मी, कुठं आहे, कोणत्या
क्लिक
ऑप्शन.
करतो मग काय ऍडजस्ट. मग देन
ओके सर.
ठीक आहे ना, चालेल होतं.
Right. So, dear participant, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 6th day of our 10-day online national research methodology workshop. I hope you have been finding the sessions insightful and enriching so far. A day before, it means a day before yesterday, we delve into the methods of data collection, sampling in research, and measurement and scale techniques. Our experts provided on this topic our incredible insights, and I am sure many of us left inspired with new ideas to implement in our research projects. There is said that लक्ष्य पर आधे रास्ते तक जाकर लक्ष्य तक आधे रास्ते तक जाकर कभी वापस न लौटे, क्योंकि वापस लौटने में भी आधा रास्ता पार करना पड़ता है. अभी we are on the middle of this workshop. Today we have an exciting lineup of sessions that promise to take us deeper into plagiarism in research, writing up article, and case study in research. Sorry, I mute all persons. Sorry for disturbance. For the first session of the day 6, we are honored to have with us a versatile and dynamic personality, Dr. Bivatti Lavani sir, to enlighten us through plagiarism in research and writing up of article in the first and second session respectively. Sir, on behalf of Sri Saraswati College of Social Work, Washim, enthusiastic participants, and uh, our organizing team, I mostly welcome you. Thank you, sir, for being with us. As a protocol, I invite Professor Ashwin Kakade, sir, to introduce our respected resource person. Over to you, Kakade, sir. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you, Aksar. Good morning, everyone. I am Professor Ashwin Bamarrao Kakade, working as Assistant Professor in Sri Saraswati College of Social Work, Washim. The topic of today's session is plagiarism in research, writing up of article. For this, Dr. B.T. Lavani sir has come to enlighten us on this topic. I am here to give brief information about Dr. B.T. Lavani sir. He is currently working as Director of Research Center, which is affiliated to Pune University Jan Seva Foundation, Pune. His education qualification is BA in English Literature from Gulbarga University, Gulbarga, Karnataka. MSW, MPhil, and PhD in Social Work, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He has teaching experience of 35 years for MSW, MPhil, PhD, and business management student. He has a research experience of 23 years in various universities like भारतीय विद्यापीठ युनिव्हर्सिटी पुणे, शिवाजी युनिव्हर्सिटी कोल्हापूर, यशवंतराव चव्हाण ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी नाशिक, सोलापूर युनिव्हर्सिटी सोलापूर. He has successfully guided many number of PhD and MPhil students. His research project, which is funded by ICSSR, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Major research project completed 4 and minor research project is 2. He has published 14 books on the different theme related higher education, social science, and social work. Also published 57 research articles in various peer review ISN number scientific journals. Beside this, he was a resource person in 4 international as well as national seminar and conference. His professional contribution is Dean.
Sorry, Kakade sir, sorry. Archana ma'am. Archana ma'am, please mute yourself. I frequently you are unmuting yourself. Kakade sir, unmute yourself by your side.
Okay, sir. His professional contribution is Dean, Faculty of Art, Commerce, and Social Science of Bharati Vidyapeeth University from April 2011 to September 2013. Academic Council member, Bharati Vidyapeeth University for 4 terms, 2005 to 2013. Member of faculties, serve as member on the Faculty of Law and Faculty of Social Science, Bharati Vidyapeeth University. BOS Chairman, BOS in Social Work, Bharati Vidyapeeth University, Pune, from 2004 to 2009. He is advisor to various NGO for their registrations, administration, research, training, and development, and established an NGO by name Center for Social Research and Development dedicated to research and documentation in social science. Also, he is life member, president of National Association of Professional Social Worker in India, Delhi, Association of the School of Social Work in India, Master Association of Social Work Education Maharashtra, Center for Education Research and Development NGO Pune. Uh, last but not least, his major academic and professional contribution are curriculum development, research and training, publications, NGO development, collaboration and networking. So such a brilliant and dynamic personality today we have with us. So without wasting our time, I call upon Dr. B.T. Lavani sir to guide us. Please, sir.
Thank you, Kakade sir.
Thank you, sir.
A very good morning to all of you.
Very good morning.
I'm extremely happy that the Saraswati College of Social Work is organizing a very good workshop, especially on research methodology, which is sponsored by the ICSSR. This is one of the credit goes to the Saraswati College of Social Work, and this is more important workshop wherever whatever colleges organized for the especially for the young researchers, PhD scholars, and the professionals working in the field of social work. Therefore, I appreciate the efforts made by the college. The team has been continuously working. At the outset, let me thank Dr. Yashan Shinde sir, the principal of Saraswati College of Social Work, and the coordinator and the entire team of Saraswati College, who have been working hard to conduct this workshop. This is, I think, 10 days workshop. And 5 days already have completed successfully. Remaining 5 days are left. And today, what I'm going to speak, as you know all, on important two topics. One, plagiarism. And second, how to write a scientific paper. I mean a scientific research paper. Both are so important in the sense all the teachers today are required to write the research articles. For their API score, it is more important. For their promotion and career growth, it has to be done. Therefore, clarification of these two things will certainly help the social work teachers, and not only social work teachers who are there, the teachers working in other subjects, allied subjects like sociology, economics, political science, etc., could be benefited. Before I start my topic, I have few concerns with the researchers who are attending this workshop. I have a small clarification. I need to get it done from the coordinator. Sir, please tell me, all these participants, are they PhD scholars or teachers also?
There are faculty also, PhD scholars also.
Okay. How many PhD among these can you please tell me? Roughly, not exactly.
Actually, sir, thousands of people have registered here,
Oh.
but how many scholars are there? We can't confirm the digit, in digit, but there are 400 scholars, I think. Above.
Today, now, right now, how many they join now?
Sir, this workshop is broadcasting on two platforms. One is Zoom meeting and another is YouTube live. So we have.
I got it. Up to 100 they can join here, and
100.
remaining will be YouTube. Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
Here
No,
is
why I'm
limit
asking?
100
Why I'm
people.
asking this because the requirement of PhD scholars is a little bit different because they are freshers. They need more in detail. And those teachers already working, have done their PhD and working as research guides. I don't think that my lecture would be most useful for them because they know all those things. Anyhow, uh, before I start my lecture, as I told you, I have a serious concern with all the teachers of social work. The concern is that most of the teachers, they are careless. I'm making a very blunt or bold statement as far as writing their research articles. I am not challenging their knowledge, their scholarship. No, they are highly qualified. They are capable to do it. But unfortunately, they do neglect most of the things while writing the research articles. You can ask me on what basis you are telling this, sir. My dear friends, I have been editing the Journal of Social Work, that is the South Asian Journal of Participative Development, for the last 24 years. Now, from this January, we have entered in 25th year. As on today, I have published not less than 1,000 articles in my journal contributed by different faculty members. Today, the present issue I am now editing, I have received 47 articles, out of which I will be selecting only 15 articles. But believe me, the quality of those papers very, very, very poor. As a senior teacher, I feel sometimes guilty why my colleagues are doing like this. Even the teachers who have sent their papers, out of 47, there are around 15 to 20 social work teachers, 5 to 10 research guides. They have not written their title properly. The abstract has not written properly. Keywords, how to put, they don't know it. What is analysis and interpretation? What is discussion? What is conclusion? And more importantly, how to write the references? No. And it becomes difficulty for me while selecting the papers. With all great difficulties, out of 47, I have selected around 15 papers for this current issue, and I am of the opinion those 15 papers, I cannot say very excellent, but they are satisfactory and they are good. Why I am sharing this, my experience? Because today is a knowledge era. And everything is available on tip of the fingers. Just click it, you will get the information. There is a Google, there is a artificial intelligence, ChatGPT we call it. There are so many medias, social medias available through which you will get lot of information. But unfortunately, we have no time to go through those things. Say my session you have organized on how to write a good scientific paper. My dear friends, take a standard journal, so to say, Economic and Political Weekly, so to say, the Indian Journal of Social Work, the British Journal of Social Work, and such other reputed journals are there. In those journals, articles are presented and those journals are publishing only those articles which are having minimum standard. And once you read carefully those articles, you will get an idea how to write a good scientific research paper. I therefore expressing all these concerns before all these participants, because tomorrow again they will be writing the papers. Believe me, some of the authors, they have wrongly typed their names in their paper. I need to correct it. So when you write a paper, write it, rewrite it, rewrite it, then read it, reread it, read it, then confirm it. And one more suggestion I would like to give you for your English correction. Today, this artificial intelligence can give you everything. For English correction, whatever you have written, you can put it in the chat GPT and ask the chat GPT, please correct the language of this text, and you will get a wonderful, perfect, revised article. Why I am telling all these things? When everything is readily available on different platforms, but we are not using those things. Therefore, my dear friends, this introductory remark which I wanted to give to all of you is because it is my experience that speaks here. Endlessly, 47 articles, I am supposed to read all those 47 articles before I select or reject. First hand, I read all those 47 articles, right? I should read. Then I should shortlist it, and shortlisted article, I send it to the reviewer. And once the reviewer send it back, again, just I have a cursory glance over those articles. If there are any corrections required, I send it back to the authors and then get it corrected. It is a very, very tedious job, tedious academic job for a person like me. And an academician has to do a tedious exercise, endless efforts, untired efforts to improve their articles. When I am sending an article to a paper, it is my responsibility to read again and again, again and again, again and again. Then when you are satisfied, if there are your senior teachers, if there are research guides for the PhD scholars, discuss with them, then you should feel very happy. Oh yes, my paper is totally final and now it is very perfect. No journal can reject my paper. With this confidence, if you send your paper to the journals, then you will write many more articles and you get the credit. Now I will come to my topic, that is plagiarism, which is another concern for us. I will try to share this slide. Is it on the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And am I very much clear in my presentation? Wise I am telling?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay. Plagiarism is another challenge for all the academicians, because today we are living in the era of copy paste. Most of the things we take, go to Google Guru, get the information, and then what we do? We get it copied and paste it, then send it. There is a Copyright Act, And that Copyright Act, if you are avoiding those rules, you can be punishable under the law. See, whatever document I publish, for example, if I am publishing a research article, if you take my article and publish it as it is, without any acknowledgement, without any proper citing the references from which article you have taken from my side, you are entitled, you are supposed to face the problem. So therefore, that is whatever you are writing articles, those articles are your personal property, and your personal property, nobody can take it. Therefore, if you do plagiarism, it is a sort of academic robbery. It is a sort of academic theft. It is a sort of academic cheating. So therefore, you are permitted to take n number of quotations, large amount of documents from the other authors, but without proper citation, if you do that, that becomes illegal. So therefore, when you prepare entire your article, so you need to check the status of plagiarism. A small definition I have brought it here for you. What is plagiarism? It is the act of using someone else's work, ideas, or expression without proper acknowledgement, presenting it as one's own. If I take a reference or copied anything from others and put it as it is in my article, then it is a plagiarism. Then two things are there. One, whatever you take, you can put it to the inverted comma, you can quote it and give the proper reference. Say, for example, one paragraph you take from my article, from my book. Then where the paragraph ends, there into the bracket, put Lavani, then a colon, then you put the year. For example, 2025, this year, no, put 2025. So you can say this article is written by this text copied is taken from B.T. Lavani, and that document is published in the year 2025. And in the list of references, again you are going to give the detailed explanation. So therefore, two things, you can give an acknowledgement. For example, at the end of your article, at the end of your book or any document, what you can do, you can very well write that. So we are very much thankful to Dr. B.T. Lavani, so for permitting us to use his material for this article or paper. Or else you can directly cite it and put it in the list of references. No need of permission as such. So therefore, this is a one thing how you can avoid the plagiarism. Secondly, one more important thing is there. Suppose you are reading my book on NGOs in development. So wherein I brought so many highlights of the functions of the NGOs, especially in rural area, and what are their financial problems, what are their HR problems, what are their financial and funding, all that I have written. Suppose if you read a chapter on financial problems of the NGOs in rural area, you can read the entire chapter or read a paragraph, whatever you want, or you can read 2 to 3 pages, and there by after that, don't copy it as it is. Write it in your own words. When you write it in own words, then it becomes your property. But if you are using facts and figures given by me, then you will have to cite it. A conceptual writing or a summary you want to make it, then you are permitted to do so. So therefore, a plagiarism can be avoided by 2 ways. That is, one, giving a proper reference or acknowledging the document in your document, or else you can read that entire article, and if you want to take something which is important from there, you can conceptualize yourself and then you write it. I'm speaking entirely in English. Is it okay?
Sir, meanwhile, someone messaged that, sir, use something somewhere.
मराठी ओके.
No, no,
नाही नाही,
no.
म्हणून तुम्हाला विचारत आहे. कारण इथे ICSE सर ना बाहेरचं पण लोक असू शकते म्हणून मी इंग्लिश मध्ये
Yes,
जास्त
sir.
हवं.
There are across the country, from Bangla, Bihar, UP, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka.
Yeah, therefore they should not get embarrassed about this. Anyhow,
Yes.
so
But
and I'm speaking very slowly and in a very simple language. I hope that all of all the participants will be understanding it very easily. Then there are things like direct plagiarism, self plagiarism, and mosaic plagiarism. And then accidental plagiarism. These are the 4 types of plagiarism, we name it. What is a direct plagiarism? It is copying text word for word without any citation. I told you already. So you take it, copy it, put it as it is, direct. Self-plagiarism, reusing one's previously published work without disclosure. See how delicate this matter is there. Suppose I have written a book on medical social work, and this medical social work book is based on my research study, and if I used that without citation, this is called as the self-plagiarism. But that is also not permitted. That can also be shown in plagiarism checking, because it is not cited over there, and your plagiarism software does not know whether this is your own article or somebody's article. Anything that is published already, anything that is in somebody's name, then it will come into the percentage of the plagiarism. Then patching together phrases from multiple sources without citation. So some quotations, some parentheses, you put in the bracket and then it is not cited. That is a mosaic plagiarism, we call it. And this is last one, usually happens in everybody's writing, accidental plagiarism. We use it, we get it from somewhere, but sometimes we don't know the sources. In social media, you get a lot of information, but sometimes without any sources over there. Then what we do, we take it, copy it and paste it, and we want to cite it, but unfortunately we don't have any details of the authors or publishers or year of publication. Nothing is there. So that we call it as a accidental plagiarism. But mind well, the plagiarism may be of any type. Your software will not excuse you that you have made it accidentally or it is your own property, you are reusing it. Nothing like that. Whatever you are using, when you check the plagiarism, the percentage of the plagiarism will be shown in your checking. Importance of avoiding plagiarism. I have explained what is plagiarism. I have explained what are the types of plagiarism. And now we are coming to the importance of avoiding plagiarism. Why should we avoid it? So academic and professional integrity in writing, ethical writing is exclusively mandatory. If you are not following ethics in your writing, then it becomes unethical. And readers sometimes, what happens? Because of the fast communication, the matter spreads very fastly today. Gone were the days. If you go back 20 years back, if I write a book, right, and to publicize it and propagate it and disseminate it, it was very difficult task. Only it was known to those people who used to take the hard copy and read it. But today, it spreads like anything, like a air, very fast. Therefore, this can be noticed by others, and academic and professional integrity and ethical behavior is most important. Plagiarism checking is a different thing. Suppose, for example, you are writing a book, you are not submitting anywhere, but you are publishing it. There is no question of acceptance and rejection, etc. But then also, you need to check it because ethically we are doing a wrong thing. I told you already, anything of plagiarism is a academic robbery, is a academic cheating. And then secondly, the second important thing is that the originality and the credibility. I want to establish myself as a writer. Many people write BT as an independent writer, right? And when they notice that I am writing and my material is copied down and it is not my creation, people will blame me. I will get a bad name, and then whatever you write, and you are not going to create your own brand. If at all you want to create your own brand, if you want to be ethically correct, you want to have your credibility among your readers, I mean our academic community or different types of stakeholders, you must go for the citation. Then legal consequences. I don't want to come to the details of Copyright Act and all, but legally also it is not permissible. As I told you, robbery, is it permitted legally? चोरी करा चालते काय होत नाहीये, किंवा आपल्या घरातला आपण चोरी करायचं, चला घरातला सुद्धा घरी चोरी करता येत नाहीये. म्हणून आपल्याला या विषयात खूप काळजी घ्यावी लागते. लीगल बाजूला ठेवा, पण स्वतः एक इंटिग्रिटी असतो, एक इथिकल आस्पेक्ट्स आहे, राईट, आणि स्वतःचा काहीतरी ओरिजिनलिटी पाहिजे. म्हणून आपल्याला इतरांचं जे कॉपी करतो आहे ते परमिशन नाहीये. तुम्ही काही कॉपी करू शकता, कितीही कॉपी करू शकता, पण त्याचे प्रॉपर रेफरन्स तुम्हाला ठेवावंच लागतं. सो म्हणून तुम्ही थोडंसं या विषयाकडे सिरियस व्हायला पाहिजे. आणि आता आपल्याला इतकं सवय झालेलं आहे, कॉपी करा पेस्ट करा, कॉपी करा पेस्ट करा. माय डिअर फ्रेंड्स, मी एक म्हणजे प्रॅक्टिकल जोक सांगतो तुम्हाला. त्याला जोक म्हणा, किती वाईट लोक काम करतात, किती केअरलेस आहे किंवा कसं वापरतात, एक उदाहरण देतो. माझ्याकडे एक पीएचडी थिसिस आले होते, ए स्टडी ऑफ वुमेन बस कंडक्टर्स. स्टडी ऑफ वुमेन बस कंडक्टर्स. मी असेसमेंट करून पाठवून दिले, त्यांचे रिझल्ट डिक्लेअर झाले, सगळं झालंय. त्यानंतर 3 वर्षाने माझ्याकडे परत एक थिसिस आले. ते गाईड सेम होते त्यांच्या. ते स्टडी ऑफ बस कंडक्टर्स थिसिस मधला अनेक गोष्टी मेथडॉलॉजी मध्ये या माणसाने कॉपी केले होते. व्हॉट एव्हर वॉज देअर इन द स्टडी ऑफ बस कंडक्टर, the methodology chapter as it was copied, and that study was regarding the women empowerment. And in the women empowerment methodology, so bus conductors I was reading. I was confused whether I am reading old thesis or a new thesis, because already I had checked it and that person had put it as it is. I was so unhappy actually. Believe me, I am outspoken, and I immediately called the research guide and I said, my dear friend, you are a young research guide, so you are not checking the PhD thesis of your scholars. Sir, what happened? Nothing happened. See, your old thesis is copied by your new student, and the bus conductor terms everywhere used in the women empowerment thesis. On the basis of this, so just not to spoil his career, I made a strong suggestion that the thesis has so many demerits and it should be rewritten and resubmitted. The purpose of telling this example, practical thing that has happened, shows that how we are negligent in copying also. Then the last one is creativity. One more thing, my dear friends, I would like to share with you. Creative rating is more important. Today, because of the social media, our brain is getting drained. Brain drain is happening. Our thinking is, totally stopped. And my dear friends, as I am concerned with the health of the old people today, I am working with many dementia patients also. If your thinking stops, dementia will attack you. So, independent thinking is more important. If you take everything copied, and especially because of the artificial intelligence, this is going to be a threat to the new generation. Because new generation, for small thing, they ask to the ChatGPT, what is this? Tell me, how should I do? So therefore, why it is so important? Because your creative thinking power will come down. And my dear friends, anything that is not used regularly will be rotted. लोखंड नाही वापरले, इवन लोखंड म्हणतो मी, कुठेतरी टाकून दिले, ते गंजून जाते. The iron that is not used will be rusted. In the same way, if the brain, scientifically I am telling, if the brain is not used continuously, then it will be rusted. And therefore, don't permit your brain to get rusted and become a creative thinker. Go on thinking, go on thinking, go on thinking. Our scholars do not think. त्यांचे आर्टिकल ते पाठवून देतात, त्यांच्या नाव चुकीचं लिहितात, कॉलेजचं नाव चुकीचं टाकतात, कधी कधी ईमेल आयडी चुकीचं टाकतात. आर्टिकल तर सोडूनच द्या. What is happening? And believe me, there are hundreds and hundreds of articles written by today's young generation, and they are published overnight. मला माझे 47 आर्टिकल प्रोसेस करून रेफरीला पाठवून करून घ्यायला 4 महिने लागतंय. आणि त्या 8 वाजता तुम्हाला मिळणार. फक्त त्यांना तुम्ही काय करायचं, त्यांचे फीस देऊन टाकायचं. आणि तुमच्या आर्टिकल मध्ये जे जे चुका आहे त्या फॉर्मॅटिंग करत नाही, एडिट करत नाहीये, काय आहे बघत नाहीये, गार्बेज इन गार्बेज 100च्या जवळ आले आता माझ्या. आणि मी म्हणतो माझ्या समोर बसा, एक आर्टिकल लिहा. So everything today we are copying. आणि तुम्ही हे जे आर्टिफिशियल कमर्शियल जर्नल्स आहे ना सुद्धा, त्या जर्नल तुमच्या प्लेगरिझम चेक करत नाहीये, तुमच्या स्क्रिप्ट बघत नाहीये, ओरिजिनॅलिटी बघत नाहीये, ऑथेंटिसिटी बघत नाहीये, आणि छापून देतात. आणि त्या युजीसीने तर इतकं कमाल केलंय. युजीसी केअर लिस्ट ते काय डस्टबिनच आहे. त्या युजीसी केअर लिस्ट मधनं जवळजवळ 400-500 जर्नल्स तुम्ही काढून बघा, त्यांनी आज घेतात आणि उद्या छापून देतात. इज इट अ स्टँडर्ड ऑफ युजीसी? So my dear friends, creative thinking is more important. And if you are not using, I should check my timing also. Then methods of checking plagiarism. So manual checking means reading through text and comparing with other sources, and this is of course a time consuming. But manual checking means तुम्ही स्वतः on your own you can check it, what material I have taken from other sources, whether I have properly acknowledged it or not, did I go for a proper citation, in-text citation, did I bring those authors' name and details of publication in the list of references? Need to check it. Then digital tools, there are softwares, right? And Turnitin is one of the commonly used, and therefore you can put it into the software, and software will give you the percentage of plagiarism. Then peer review, that is collaboration with peers and with other colleagues and all. You can discuss and you can give them, they can help you how to check it. But proper authentic checking is softwares are there. There are few journals which are very standard. What do? They recommend their own software. Even in today, there are some softwares which do not give the correct plagiarism. So therefore, the journals which have their reputation, they strongly recommend go for this software only. These are the softwares available for plagiarism checking. There are some free, because in social sciences, young researchers may be facing some financial difficulties, right? And they may not be in a position to pay, but don't worry, you have these two important free tools checking the plagiarism. The Grammarly, that is free, it identifies surface level plagiarism, but limited database access is there. And the small few tools, basic plagiarism checking with limited accuracy. There may be some others also. I may not be knowing those because our young generation, they are using many softwares for plagiarism checking, which are freely available, or you can just Google it. What are the free softwares available for the plagiarism checking? You will get their link and you can put your document there and you can check it. Then paid tools are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to read all those names and explain everything. But here, these tools are used for different purposes. For example, if you want to check surface level, then there are certain different softwares, and their fees is also less comparatively. It starts from the 500 and it goes to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 as per the requirement of the authors. Then many young teachers, they know they are very fast in using technology. Procedure for checking plagiarism: upload your document, open the chosen software and upload it. Then all that the procedure is there written here. Then settings, adjust exclusion like bibliography or quoted text. Usually in the bibliography is not counted for the plagiarism, and that there are certain settings. You can go for the setting and you can do that. So then run the check. Software scans the text and it will give the database to you. This is how the procedure. It's very simple, and when you do it, I need not teach you also. All of you are very much well versed as far as this checking procedure is concerned. Then technical matters related to plagiarism. Then there are file formats are there, exclusions are there, sensitivity settings are there, so reports are there. So all these different things, you know, that those technical matters are there. And for example, PDF is there, text is there, docs is there. These are the tools, you know, that formats are there, how to use, and in which format which is permitted and all. These all are the technologies, technical matters which you need to learn if you want to do it. Otherwise, very simple. If you are not comfortable with checking, then you can give it to some other parties. They can check and they will give it. Then many times the question is there, even to me also. People ask, sir, what is the percentage of your journal that tolerate plagiarism? Is it 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%? But at the outset, I say zero plagiarism. We don't want it. If I say zero, it will become 20. So therefore, accepted plagiarism percentage is different for different organizations, different for different requirements. So plagiarism below 10 to 15 is generally acceptable. Sometimes 20 is also acceptable. In some concern, there are 25 is also acceptable. Therefore, there is no standard legally permissible, illegal thing which we can treat. It is nothing like that. But every organization is having its own requirement, and accordingly, they fix the percentage of toleration of plagiarism. Say high standard demand less than 5 to 10%. So 10 to 15 in general, generally accepted. And if you think of the high standard document, if it is expected like that, then the plagiarism is 5 to 10. So I want to make it very clear that so the percentage is not totally fixed, and to me as an academician, if it is less than 10, it is always better for the researchers. Then UGC had given some guidelines, 0 to 10. This is a little the previous standard I have quoted here, because I was unable to get the latest guidelines as regards to the plagiarism toleration by the UGC. Don't just that refer this for your plagiarism checking. But just you see that 0 to 10, no penalty is accepted. No penalty means then it is easily acceptable. There's no fine as such, monetary fine is not there. Then 10 to 40 requires revision. If there is a plagiarism above 10, then your document, your thesis need to be revised again. 40 and above, so leads to rejection, and you need not go for the rejection. You should not wait for the rejection. So we will again, if possible, I will also check what are the latest availabilities of the guidelines, what UGC has brought it, and I will share with this group to the coordinator so that they can share with the participants. Then guidelines for authors, just I will checking time also because next session we need to go. Guidelines for authors. How to avoid plagiarism. So citing sources, use proper references, the formats like APA, MLA, whatever is there. We, the social science people, we use APA standard, and APA standard is having different format for different documents. For example, for article different, for edited book it is different. So like that itself will become an independent session for how to write a references. Therefore, I am not going into the detail of what is APA, the latest edition, and what are the guidelines, etc. So, but the citation through a proper methodology, that is format, is required here to avoid the plagiarism. So, paraphrasing, restate ideas in your own words while retaining will be the same, but it will give the meaning, the same meaning. Paraphrasing means, do you remember your high school days? During our high school days, even today also, in English paper, there was used to be a question, paraphrasing. For example, so that was called as the Prissy writing. Prissy means they will give a paragraph of 600 words, and they used to ask us make it 200. So the meaning is same, but you are precising it in your own words. Generally, it was told make it 1/3. Whatever document is there, 600-word document, you are making it in 200 words. But meaning is not disturbed, so it is carried as it is. That is permitted. That we call it as a paraphrasing. Already I told you that you read my article, you can conceptualize yourself and put that idea in your own language. It's not a plagiarism. Then plagiarism detection, run your document through software before certificate. A report of the software, the percentage, how much you got it. Then journal specific guidelines. As I told you, each journal is having its own direction and guidelines. So follow submission rules of the the targeted journal and or the institution. As I told you, different journals are having different guidelines for the plagiarism checkup. Not only for that, even for citing your sources, journals are having their own different formats. So go according to those formats and go according to their rules, and then you submit your article. Then you must know, you must have a knowledge of copyright awareness. Understand copyright laws to avoid infringement or any sort of punishment. So these 5 points are more important for the writers, because the many time my PhD scholars, they always get confused themselves. They are not clear about the list of references and bibliography. List of references are nothing but the list of citation. Citation means what you have cited in your document in text, and exactly you are taking as it is. You are quoting my words in your document, that we call it as a reference. But bibliography is not like that. Suppose you have read my book on medical social work. Somewhere from that book, you can use that book in the list of bibliography, not in the list of references. My dear friends, as an editor, I get articles, there are 70, 80, 90 references. And when I check those references, there are no references in the text. Are you getting my point? Means they prepared a big bibliography and added as the list of references. Those are not at all the references. So this clarity, we should have it. Then professional charges for plagiarism checking. Just already I told you, basic check, it costs around 5 to 1,000 rupees per document. And the document size also matters. The words also matters. Each software is having its own, rules. Each company or any consultant, consultancy services, academic consultancy services, they need your fees according to your requirement. So, for example, many PhD students, they prepare their thesis without giving any references. Plagiarism come more than
Sir, sorry for interrupt.
60%. Then what do they do?
Sir, please. Sorry for interrupt, but I think your network connectivity is very weak.
Document with full.
लावणी सर प्लीज. मी इंटरप्ट करतो, सॉरी म्हणतो त्यासाठी. आपले नेटवर्क कनेक्टिव्हिटी फार वीक आहे. Unmute yourself, sir. Sorry. I allowed you. Just met, sir. Lavani, sir.
Right. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Just
Can you
second.
hear now?
Yeah, you are audible now. But meanwhile, your voice was discontinued, and I think there is weak connectivity of
Right now,
network.
is it okay?
Yes, sir. Is it okay?
Maybe. Maybe sometime my network happens like that. It is a Wi-Fi I'm using, no?
ओके. सर, जर बाजूला विंडो वगैरे असेल तर बाजूला मोबाईल ठेवून ती कनेक्टिव्हिटी घेतली तर बेस्ट राहील मला वाटतं.
नाही
आमच्या
म्हणजे ऍक्च्युअली घरचं मोठं वायफाय आहे, सगळे वापरतो आम्ही.
आमचाही सेम
जॉईन याच्याकडनं करू का, मी मोबाईल वरनं करू, थोडं इझी होईल.
राहू द्या, मग कनेक्टिव्हिटी जाईल पुन्हा. राहू द्या, सध्या चालू आहे व्यवस्थित. आता काय अडचण नाही.
सर मोबाईलवर बेटर राहील.
एकच मिनिट.
हो ठीक आहे.
आय अंडरस्टँड. ते आरामात. पण आतापर्यंत काय प्रॉब्लेम नाही आले ना?
नाही नाही काही प्रॉब्लेम. शेवटचे 5 मिनिटं थोडाफार प्रॉब्लेम होता.
ओके.
मग आता मोबाईलवर जे आहे तिथं
हे बंद करतो मी.
नाही सर, तुम्हाला पीपीटी शेअर करायला अडचण जाईल.
नाही, स्क्रीन आहे. नो प्रॉब्लेम. तुम्हाला शेअर होणार नाही ते.
हा ते मग राहू द्या ना, दोन्ही अकाउंट राहिलं तरी चालतात तुमचे, काय अडचण नाही.
नाही, व्हॉइस ब्रेक होतो. दोन्ही ठेवले. तुम्हाला काय प्रॉब्लेम? आता ऐकू येत आहे?
यस, क्लिअर. तुम्ही काय करा, फक्त तुमच्या मोबाईलचा साऊंड लगेच लो करून ठेवा, म्हणजे इको साऊंड होणार.
लो केलंय मी, लो केलंय. ओके. नाव स्क्रीन थोडा तुमचे फुल झाले. हाऊ शुड आय रिड्यूस इट नाव? मिनिमाइज? नो, मला परत शेअर करावं लागेल.
येस येस.
हॅलो.
हा सर.
I think connectivity is not there. May I go without any slide sharing?
स्लाइड शेअरिंग होत नाही का? मी करू का इथून?
मोबाईलचा डेटा मला घेता येत नाही. Just give me 2 minutes, please. Right, you can.
Sir, I will run your PPT here.
एक मिनिट. That's better. Okay. Hello.
Yes sir, I'm listening.
So I will come out of that now. Okay.
Where we were last time? Methods.
Is it okay now?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes sir, you are audible.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. So methods of checking plagiarism, we have done it. Come to the next slide now.
Okay sir.
Fourth, fifth, somewhere we stopped, in between. Professional charges, ninth schedule it is. 9 number.
I think here we were. Accepted
No,
plagiarism.
that is done. Next. Next, this is one more. Next.
Okay.
Ninth, this one.
Okay.
So I was talking about. Is it okay? I'm audible now.
Yes, sir.
आवाज
You are.
येतोय?
Yes. Yes.
अच्छा. आता मी हे बोलत होतो ऍक्च्युअली. एक 500 रुपये नंतर तुमचे 1000 आहे, 2000 आहे, 3000 आहे, कधी कधी 5000 आहे. डिपेंड अपॉन द साईज ऑफ द डॉक्युमेंट. फॉर एक्झाम्पल 3 मॅटर मी इथं लिहिलेलं आहे. फॅक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग चार्जेस. हा चार्जेस व्हेरिएशन का होतो आणि कशासाठी होतो. लेंथ ऑफ द डॉक्युमेंट अँड कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ द कंटेंट अँड डेप्थ ऑफ एनालिसिस रिक्वायर्ड. काय काय तुम्हाला गरज आहे. These all matters the variation in the charges. म्हणून आपल्याला प्लेगरिझम सॉफ्टवेअर स्वतः वापरलं कधी चांगलं. आणि आताचं जनरेशन, यंग जनरेशन पर्टिक्युलर, दे व्हेरी फास्ट इन युजिंग दी टेक्नॉलॉजी. तुम्ही आरामात करू शकता. विल गो टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. 10th one. युजीसी गाईडलाईन्स आता ऑलरेडी मी तुम्हाला दिलेलं आहे. त्याच्याबद्दल थोडंसं परत इथं डिटेल आहे. विल गो टू नेक्स्ट वन. आणखीन काही महत्वाचं मला बोलायचं या विषयामध्ये. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. सो कम बॅक. इथं though it is a concluding slide, okay, what I wanted to focus, that UGC गाईडलाईन्स थोडासा परत एकदा तुम्हाला मी ब्रीफ करतोय. UGC रेग्युलेशन 2018 प्रमाणे, ओके, द इन्स्टिट्यूट्स मीन्स अकॅडमिक इन्स्टिट्यूट्स, I mean the universities, colleges and research institutes, they should promote awareness about plagiarism. Most of our research scholars, particularly the PhD scholars, they are not much aware about the plagiarism and its bad effect. As I told you all those things, how does it affect? For example, your creativity is not there, your name is not credible. When you become a senior, you are supposed to become a brand. Say people, for example, BT Lavani, what BT Lavani people, whoever know me, they have certified me already that this person is like that. Suppose if I am using the document of others and publishing, then immediately they will say, छोड़ दो sir, ऐसा ही कुछ तो लिखते रहते हैं. Therefore, the most important is that you are spoiling your own brand, because every academician need to create his own name, his own brand. And then each institute should form a plagiarism detection committee, PDC we call it. So every college should have a committee which will promote the guidelines as regards to the plagiarism. That committee will look into it. And exactly, I have not gone through the details, the penalties, what they are going to, because this document I have not studied in detail, but they are mentioning that if there are something, I mean, cheating like that, if it is identified later on, so there may be a sort of penalties that depend upon the level of plagiarism detected. How it is linked with, because the penalty has to depend upon or linked with the Copyright Act. See, copyright is more important act, and that has to be followed. Then focus your that encouraging originality and ethical research practices. मी ऍक्च्युअली एखादा सेशन्स घेतलो होतो, व्हॉट आर द इथिकल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज ऑफ द यंग रिसर्चर्स अँड द टोटल रिसर्चर ॲज सच. देअर आय हॅव मेन्शन्ड ऑल दीज डिटेल्स. सो एथिकल रिसर्च काय आहे. Actually, what happens, we the social scientists many times do not follow ethical requirements, even conducting the research. For example, I'll tell you, when you are going to conduct a research with the vulnerable groups, who are the vulnerable groups? The vulnerable groups such as, for example, children, women, and the disabled people, patients, elderly people, all these are vulnerable people. When you are conducting study with them, you need to submit your proposal to the ethical committee, and ethical committee will make a recommendation, and based on the recommendation you will have to redesign your research proposal, and then only you can go for the conducting the research studies. So therefore, ethical aspects are more important as far as researchers are concerned. But this culture is not imbibed among the social scientists. If you come to the clinical research, if you come to the medical research or microbiology and such other fields, so wherever they go, so they seriously think upon the well-being of these subjects on whom we are going to conduct a research study, because their well-being is more important. Even in your questionnaire or in your interview schedule, what are the types of questions you have added? For example, you are conducting a study on adolescents. So adolescent group is a very sensitive group. More particularly, if you are conducting a study on the women's health, and more particularly, you are studying about their puberty and such other matters. And if you go on asking n number of questions about their puberty, म्हणजे मासिक पाळी, so if you ask so many things about that, if those questions are embarrassing to them, that is ethically not correct. Therefore, ethical clearances is more important. And in most of the standard journal, there is one column, even in the paper, you need to add that how did you get, from whom you did certified your article that it is ethically approved. They ask for that, or else there in the end somewhere you can write that so we are thankful to the ethics committee of, so for example, the so and so university, for going through the document and giving their ethical permission to publish this article, so to undertake the study and then accordingly to publish the article. So therefore, these are the things to be taken care of. Then next one, last that is, please. So to conclude, to summarize, avoid plagiarism to uphold integrity and originality. My dear friends, originality is more important. See, man by nature gets satisfaction in his own creation. For example, when a child is born to couples, they feel extremely happy. When a writer writes a book and gets it published, he is so happy. When a painter design a painting and publish it, so he's so happy. Therefore, man originally is getting pleasure in the creativity and in the creation. Therefore, be a creative researcher, be original researcher. That is most important. As I told you, ethical responsibility, writers, researchers, and students must prioritize ethical writing. Taking somebody's document and claiming that this is my document, it's very, very unethical. Then institutional role, that is academic institutions should provide resources and training to all the researchers who are conducting research. And as I told you, tools and other awareness matters, leverage the software and adhere to guidelines to maintain high standards of writing, high standards of conducting your research studies. Maybe a doctoral study with a MPhil, we have stopped it. It may be a PhD study, or it may be a study sponsored by different organizations such as the UGC, ICSSR, ICMR, and today there are few industries, they are funding through the CSR department to undertake studies. Recently, I had submitted a proposal to the Phenolics India Limited. Although they sanctioned me 16 lakh 30,000 rupees, rupees to undertake a research study of the elderly women's mental and physical health during and after the COVID, post-COVID period. This study we have conducted, we have completed that study. 10,000 sample size I had taken from different parts of Maharashtra, from each and every district. Two talukas were selected. From each and every taluka, two villages were selected. Accordingly, 10,000 elderly women were selected. And now we have submitted that report. Why I am telling this, for research also, the CSR departments will give you funds. With this submission, I think this is sufficient as far as plagiarism is concerned. And let us go to the question answer session. If there are any uh, questions to be asked by the participants, I shall be happy to answer.
Hello, sir.
Yes, बोलिए.
I am audible, sir.
Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
सर मुझे ये जानकारी चाहिए थी कि मतलब प्लेगरिज्म में जो हम साइटेशन करना भूल जाते हैं तो उसके लिए हम खुद जिम्मेदार रहते हैं या मतलब कि जो सिस्टम है सिस्टम के मतलब जो गाइडलाइंस है यूजीसी या विद्यापीठ के तो उनके अनुसार हम साइटेशन नहीं कर पाए तो उनमें हमारी क्या गलती पाई जाती है सर?
No, we are the responsible. It's not the organization. The researchers are the responsible for that. Because it is your creation. Okay. Of course, it's a good question. Who is going to be responsible for that?
क्या होता है सर प्रॉपर गाइड्स नहीं रहा तो उसमें कोई भूल हो सकती है. अगर ये जो सेशन हो रहा है इसलिए हमें ये बहुत हेल्पफुल है कि इसमें हमारा जो कंसेप्ट है जो हमारे से गलती हो सकती है वो नहीं हो सकती है. अगर साइटेशन करने के लिए जो भी हमारा तुमने ये पहले स्टाइल जो बताया है तो अभी थोड़ा थोड़ा कंसेप्ट क्लियर हो गया है लेकिन प्रैक्टिकली कैसा किया जाता है वो थोड़ा हमें बताइए.
यस यस क्या होता है आपने बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा है. वो देयर इज यूजीसी हैज गिवन गाइडलाइंस that is the responsibility of each and every college to create awareness among the research scholars as far as plagiarism is concerned. And it has also given advice that you can frame a committee at the institutional level for doing that awareness, creating awareness among the researchers. एक बात मैं बताना सकता हूँ इधर एक्चुअली. ओके, आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा who is going to held responsible. सो हमें तो मालूम नहीं है. से पीएचडी स्टूडेंट विल टेल, वो ऐसा बोलेगा सर हमारा गाइड ने ऐसा बोला नहीं है, हमारा इंस्टीट्यूट ने बोला नहीं है, मेरा ऐसा होगा, मैं क्या करूं. ओके, देर इज ए रूल दैट इग्नोरेंस ऑफ लॉ इज नो एक्सक्यूज. मुझे कानून मालूम नहीं था, मैंने किसी का मर्डर किया एक्चुअली, वो मुझे मालूम नहीं था मर्डर करना क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटी है, इसलिए मैंने किया बोले तो आपको प्रिजन में जाना ही पड़ता है, इजंट इट. सो लाइक दैट. सो वो रूल्स मालूम नहीं था, मैंने ऐसे कर दिया. दैट इज नॉट एक्सक्यूज अंडर एनी सर्कमस्टेंसेस.
ठीक है, थैंक यू सर.
ओके, वेलकम. व्हाट्स योर नेम?
माली
आपका नाम क्या है?
माली रविंद्र सुभाष.
ओके ओके, माली.
कवित्री बहिणाबाई चौधरी, नॉर्थ युनिव्हर्सिटी जळगाव.
माळी नाव तुमचं ऐकलंय ना मी कुठं तर एक्चुअली.
ठीक आहे.
बोला. एनी क्वेश्चन्स अगेन? आणि हा विषय ठेवून खूप छान केले ऑर्गनायझरने. प्लेगरिझम मोर इम्पॉर्टंट आहे आणि बरेच वेळा आपण खूप नेग्लेक्ट करतो, जाऊ दे त्याला काय, आणि शेवटी कुणाला तर देऊन डॉक्युमेंट करेक्ट करून घेतो. See, my dear friends, इसमें क्या होता है, वी गेट इट करेक्ट बाय हुक और क्रुक, कुछ तो करके हम करा सकते हैं, बट लेकिन जो ओरिजिनलिटी होता है डॉक्यूमेंट में वो नहीं होता. So in Hyderabad, in Pune, in big cities, there are few consultant organizations who can reduce your plagiarism. इसका मतलब आपका डॉक्यूमेंट ओरिजिनल हुआ ऐसा नहीं है. So therefore, we should try to write original documents.
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है.
Good.
क्या होता है सर, कभी कभी जो फ्री साइड है जिसपे अपन
अशोक ना तुम्ही?
जी अशोक वाघ फ्रॉम सरस्वती
हाँ
कॉलेज, सेम
हाँ, बोला बोला बोला.
एज पार्ट ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम.
I know.
सर कभी कभी क्या होता है, अपन जब फ्री साइड पे प्लेगरिज्म करना चाहते हैं और करते कभी कभी खुद, और वो डेटा डिलीट नहीं होता सर. और जब अपन यूनिवर्सिटी में या कहीं ये करते प्लेगरिज्म, वो डेटा की
हम्म,
बजाय ऑनलाइन वो डेटा सबमिट रहता वहीं पे, और पूरा का पूरा
हम्म,
100% प्लेगरिज्म बता देता. फिर ये कैसे होता सर,
हाँ.
और क्या
वो
खबरदारी
तो
लेनी चाहिए इसके लिए?
नहीं, आई एम नॉट गुड इन टेक्नोलॉजी. वो बात मैं बता सकता हूँ. वो मेरा
अच्छा.
वो मेरा सब्जेक्ट नहीं है.
नहीं, एक बार ऐसे हुआ था मेरे दोस्त के साथ. उन्होंने पहले क्या किया,
होगा. वो इन टेक्नोलॉजी एनीथिंग में हैपन.
उन्होंने इधर किया अमरावती में, फिर नागपुर चले गए फिर से प्लेगरिज्म करने. वो तो बोला 100% दिखा रहा है यहाँ पे, आपका पूरा का
अरे
पूरा
माय गॉड. हाँ.
कॉपी पेस्ट है. फिर
हाँ,
उन्होंने
इसीलिए मुझे एक बात आपसे क्लियर करना है. हाँ? आप कैसे करना है, थोड़ा स्टैंडर्ड जो भी है ना, रिकमेंडेड प्लेगरिज्म साइट्स है ना वो, हाँ,
राइट राइट
वो
राइट.
उससे किए तो अच्छा होता है एक्चुअली. दैट्स ओनली आई कैन गिव इट, बिकॉज इन टेक्नोलॉजी एनीथिंग may happen good or bad. therefore I cannot answer this question.
नहीं 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 सर,
सर
कभी
एक मेरा
कभी.
भी क्वेश्चन है.
यस मैम.
सर मैं ये
आपका
पूछना
आपका नाम बताइए, आपका नाम बताइए.
मैं डॉक्टर हसन बानो,
हम्म,
एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर, बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी एफिलिएटेड कॉलेज, डीएवी
ओके,
पीजी
गुड.
कॉलेज.
ओके ओके, बोलिए
जी
बोलिए.
सर, आई जस्ट आस्क कि इफ आई चेंज द वर्ड्स,
हम्म.
डू आई स्टिल हैव टू साइट द सोर्सेज?
वही तो मैंने बोला आपको, ओ चेंज ऑफ वर्ड का मतलब ऐसा होता है दैट वी कॉल इट एज ए पैराफ्रेजिंग. मेरा वो स्लाइड में है, देखो पीपीटी में. सो हाउ यू कैन
यस.
अवॉइड प्लेगरिज्म. पैराफ्रेजिंग बोले तो क्या होता है, सो बीटी लावणी का एक बुक है, मेडिकल सोशल वर्क के ऊपर है. मेडिकल सोशल वर्क प्रैक्टिस के बारे में कुछ मैंने लाया उधर, वो आपने पढ़ना है. वो पढ़ के आपका वर्ड में आपने लिखा ना, वो प्लेगरिज्म होता नहीं है.
यस, थैंक यू सर.
ओके. आई थिंक देयर आर नो क्वेश्चंस नाउ.
Okay sir, then let's move to the second session.
Yeah, and I'm quite interested to help all the research scholars, particularly young researchers. आपको कुछ भी क्वेश्चन रहे तो मेरा ईमेल आईडी अशोक से ले लीजिए. So he will provide you my email ID and you can contact me. You can ask questions. My moral responsibility
सर
as a
मैसेज में
professor.
डलवा दें प्लीज, अशोक सर.
Yes ma'am.
मेल आईडी आप मैसेज में डलवा दीजिएगा.
हाँ,
Sure.
btlavani@gmail.com. btlavani b.t.
ओके.
सर सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है.
हाँ,
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. सर मेरा
गुड
एक
मॉर्निंग.
क्वेश्चन है कि पीएचडी के दौरान भी बहुत टाइम मैंने अपने यूनिवर्सिटीज में देखे हैं कि पीएचडी के दौरान आप जो लिख रहे हैं और आप कहीं चेक करवा रहे हैं तो उसे भी चोरी की जाती है, तो उससे कैसे बचा जाए?
Ma'am, your good name.
मैंने देखा है सर, मैंने देखा है और मेरे साथ हुआ भी है ऐसा.
तो अभी क्या है, दिस हैज नो आंसर बिकॉज घर में कुछ आपने रखता है, कोई तो चोरी करके लेके जाता है. हाँ, वो बचाना आसान नहीं है, होता ही नहीं एक्चुअली. ओनली वी शुड, हाँ, वन थिंग आई कैन सजेस्ट यू, माय डियर participants, we are so enthusiastic. Today we are going to put everything on the sites. मैंने ये किया वो किया. आपका जो ओरिजिनल वर्क है ना, जब
जी
तक
सर.
आपने सबमिट जब तक आपने सबमिट नहीं करता थीसिस वगैरह, राइट,
यस
वो
सर।
किसी को भी दिखाना नहीं है,
सर
except your guide or except your advisors who in whom you are having trust.
सर मेरी ही एक सीनियर थी जिन्हें मैंने दिखाया था, और उसके बाद उन्होंने उसे मेरे ही टॉपिक, मुझे इतना आइडिया नहीं था स्टार्टिंग में, तो उन्होंने मेरे ही टॉपिक को पब्लिश करवा लिया।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, इट हैपन्स। आपके भी, मेरा भी ऐसा हुआ 20 साल पहला मैंने, व्हेन आई वाज यंग रिसर्चर, मेरे पास एक बुक था, पब्लिश करना था। वो जयपुर का एक पब्लिशर आया था मेरे पास, नाम नहीं बताता भी, अच्छा नहीं लगता एक्चुअली।
यस सर।
उन्हें मेरा डॉक्यूमेंट लेके गया, फील्ड वर्क के ऊपर एक मेरा डॉक्यूमेंट था एक्चुअली, कम्युनिटी फील्ड वर्क कैसे करना वगैरह, राइट, एंड उसके साथ सोशल वर्क, एजुकेशन, फील्ड इंस्ट्रक्शन, ऐसा कुछ मेरा एक डॉक्यूमेंट बना के दिया था। उन्हें
यस
लेके
सर।
गया, दोज डेज देयर वर नो सच फास्ट सोशल मीडिया एक्सेप्ट ईमेल। वो लेके गए डॉक्यूमेंट, बाद में मैंने 3-4 बार खत लिखा उनको, मेरा क्या हुआ, मेरा क्या हुआ, वो रेस्पॉन्स नहीं किया। आफ्टर 1 year द सेम बुक प्रिंटेड इन somebody's नेम एंड वी गॉट इन अवर लाइब्रेरी।
यस सर, यही सेम चीज मेरे साथ भी हुआ है, और उसमें मेरे एक सीनियर और मेरे एक गेस्ट फैकल्टी के टीचर भी थे, क्योंकि
हाँ हाँ
पीएचडी के शुरुआत में मुझे इतना आइडिया नहीं था, नहीं समझती मुझे इस बारे में कि किसे दिखाना चाहिए और किसे नहीं दिखाना चाहिए, तो मैंने उनके
हाँ,
साथ
वन
शेयर
मोर,
किया, पूरा
आई
लिख
गॉट इट,
करके दिखाया।
one more rectification you can do it here. Suppose if it is your own document, right? If you have any proof of that document done, no, you can file a legal case also under Copyright Act.
अच्छा,
हो
ऐसा हो
सकता है,
सकता।
हो सकता है, हो सकता है। Not only giving your document back, but they will have to give a compensation for your mental harassment.
हाँ सर, क्योंकि उस दौरान मुझे बहुत दुख हुआ था कि मेरा
वो
सारा लिखा।
दोनों डॉक्यूमेंट के ब्रीफ मुझे भेज दीजिए, वो क्या कैसा हो एक्चुअली, आई विल टॉक टू माय लॉयर एंड आई विल फाइल ए केस, नो प्रॉब्लम।
ओके सर, ओके, थैंक यू सो मच सर।
आई विल हेल्प यू, यस यस।
नमस्कार सर, एक प्रश्न विचारायचा आहे, विचारू का?
हो
वेळ
हो,
आहे?
काय नाव आपलं नाव सांगा.
सर मी दुर्गा भकणे आहे, नागपूरहून बोलते आहे आणि रिसर्च
हा.
स्कॉलर आहे सोशल वर्कची. सर आता प्लॅगॅरिझमचा हा जो विषय सुरू आहे, आपण सगळे म्हणतो की प्लॅगॅरिझम करायला नको. मग आपण सर थिसिस मध्ये आपल्या सगळ्या ओन आयडियाज, आपले ओपिनियन, व्ह्यूज, आपण असंच हे सगळं हे करत गेलं आणि जास्त आपण कोणाचंच काही वापरलं नाही, तर तसं होऊ शकतं का सर थिसिस?
नाही ना, थिसिस होणारच नाही आहे. तुमच्या थिसिस मध्ये इतर स्कॉलरचं सायटेशन यायलाच पाहिजे. ए डॉक्युमेंट रिसर्च विदाउट रेफरन्सेस इज नॉट ए रिसर्च. कळलं का
ते
तुम्हाला?
रेफरन्सेस घेऊ सर, आपण सायटेशन्स हे सगळं आपण देऊ, पण जेव्हा आपल्याला असं वाटतं की आता आपला पण आयडियाज, आपला जो विषय आहे त्यामध्ये आपण आपलं सर्व असं टाकावं, तर त्यावेळेस काय करावं सर आपण?
नाही, आपला टाका,
रे-
आपलं 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 आयडियाज आपण लिहितोच ऍक्च्युअली. आपला आयडियाला सपोर्ट करण्यासाठी इतरांचा रेफरन्स वापरतो.
हो
कळलं का तुम्हाला?
हो
रेफरन्सेस
सर,
का वापरतो? माझे
बरोबर.
आयडियाज जे आहे, तुमचे आयडियाज आहे,
हो
तुम्ही लिहिणार, तुम्ही लिहिल्यानंतर तुमच्या आयडिया खरं आहे किंवा सपोर्ट आहे म्हणण्यासाठी, तुमच्या मताला सपोर्ट मिळण्यासाठी तुम्ही रेफरन्स वापरता.
बरोबर.
बरोबर. हो हो, ठीक आहे, खूप खूप धन्यवाद
आणि
सर.
आणि आणि आणि
हा,
जितका जास्त रेफरन्सेस तुम्ही घेते ना, तेवढं
हो
तुमच्या थिसिस स्ट्रॉंग होतो आहे. म्हणजे तुम्ही जास्त अभ्यास केलेला आहे, इतरांचं
बरोबर.
ज्ञान घेतलेलं आहे, हे सगळं
हो
सिद्ध होतं.
बरोबर सर.
गुड,
थँक्यू व्हेरी मच सर.
मोस्ट वेलकम.
हॅलो सर.
हा बोला.
हरी सर.
मग आपण आपलं वर्कआउट म्हणजे वर्क करताना इतरांचे स्ट्रक्चर असतं, फक्त ते स्ट्रक्चर डिझाईन करताना जर आपण ते वापरलं आणि ते साईट केलं तर चालेल का? मग
म्हणजे स्ट्रक्चर म्हणजे सांगा ना, म्हणजे कुठलं स्ट्रक्चर म्हणताय तुम्ही?
समजा आपण एखादा आलेख, स्तंभ आलेख जे आपण जे दाखवतो,
हम्म, 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 हम्म.
त्यांची फक्त आयडिया घेतलेली आहे आणि आपण आपल्या आकडेवारीनुसार किंवा आपल्या याच्यानुसार दाखवलेलं
हो
आहे, तर ते चालतं?
हो, चालते ना, चालते, त्यात काय नाही.
चालतं
मॅटर
चालेल
तुमचं
मग.
आहे, मॅटर तुमचं आहे, फक्त स्ट्रक्चर त्यांचं आहे ऍक्च्युअली.
हो हो
समजा, हो, काही लोक तुमच्या स्ट्रक्चर वापरायला सुद्धा म्हणतात.
हा
तुम्ही
हा
कोणाचं वापरले खाली ब्रॅकेटमध्ये सोर्स ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर असं जरी लिहिले ना,
हो हो हो.
दॅट विल बी मोर इथिकल. ब्रॅकेटमध्ये टाकायचं, जो स्ट्रक्चर तुम्ही स्तंभ आलेख वापरलेला आहे, बरोबर आहे.
हम्म.
आता काही गरज नाही, कारण सगळं तुम्हाला रेडीमेड मिळून जाते. एक्सेल शीट तुम्ही बनवले ना,
हो हो
तुम्हाला जे पाहिजे सगळं होत आहे. SPSS मध्ये सगळं होतच आहे. हा,
हो हो. चालेल, थँक्यू सर.
आणि आणि तुम्हाला, मला काय म्हणायचंय, आता हे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स आणि सगळं सोशल मीडिया, गुगल सगळं आले ना, आपला क्रिएटिव्हिटीला थोडा धोका येतोय बरं का. आपण विचार
हो हो बरोबर.
करण्याचं कमी होत आहे. हा, इव्हन आता आपण काय करतो, गुड मॉर्निंग मेसेज सकाळी प्रत्येकानं आपण लिहून पाठवत नाहीये, हे कॉपी करून
हो
सगळ्यांना पेस्ट करून टाकतो, गुड मॉर्निंग गुड मॉर्निंग गुड मॉर्निंग.
हो
म्हणजे तो इमोशनल अटॅचमेंट म्हणून राहते ना बरं का. त्यांनी टाकले, आपण पण टाकून द्यायचं, संपलं मॅटर. सो दॅरफोर क्रिएटिव्ह थिंकिंग साठी तुम्हाला अजून एक सांगतो, तुम्ही नॉट एव्हरीबडी कॅन बी क्रिएटिव्ह थिंकर. थोडासा असंच काय तर रिसर्च बद्दल रोज विचार करायला पाहिजे. माझे थिसिस असं होईल तर कसं होईल, याचे वेगळ्या
हो.
पद्धतीने म्हटलं तर कसं होईल. थोडासा डेली 1-5 मिनिट त्याच्यावर स्वतःच विचार करायचा.
हम्म.
थिंकिंग
इतर सब्जेक्ट पेक्षा सर मास्टर ऑफ सोशल वर्कचा जो रिसर्च आहे हा 50% प्रॅक्टिकल आहे, म्हणजे फील्डशी रिलेटेड असतो जास्त.
येस येस.
हा
बरं, तुम्हाला रेफरन्सेस कुठे टाकायचं सांगतो तिथं. 2 ठिकाणी. एक
हो
तुमचं जे इंट्रोडक्शन आहे, हा,
हो
इंट्रोडक्शन मध्ये मी पुढे पण सांगणार आहे. इंट्रोडक्शन मध्ये
हो
तुम्हाला रेफरन्सेस टाकायचं आहे. आणि
बरोबर.
तुम्ही जेव्हा अनेक 99% लोक त्यांचे एनालिसिस इंटरप्रिटेशन मध्ये रेफरन्सेस वापरत नाहीये.
हो हो बरोबर.
म्हणजे मी एक टेबल मांडलो, ते टेबलचं मी एनालिसिस करतो आहे.
हो हो हो
तुम्ही मेडिकल सोशल वर्कचं एक रिसर्च टॉपिक घेतलेलं आहे, बरोबर आहे.
हो हो.
तिथं टेबल बनवलेलं आहे, टेबलचं तुम्ही एनालिसिस तुम्ही करताय. पण मी पण मेडिकल सोशल वर्कचं मी एक थिसिस तयार केलाय.
हो हो
तुम्ही तुमच्या तिथं तुमच्या थिसिसचा तो टेबलचं कन्क्लुजन करण्याच्या आधी डॉक्टर BT लावणे सर हॅज कंडक्टेड ए स्टडी ऑन मेडिकल सोशल वर्क इन पुणे सिटी अँड अकॉर्डिंग टू हिम त्यांचे रिझल्ट असं आहे, माझे रिझल्ट असं आहे, दोन्हीचं जुळते किंवा जुळत नाहीये.
बरोबर.
हे तुम्ही वापरायला पाहिजे, पण लोक वापरत नाही ते.
चालेल
ठीक आहे,
चालेल, ठीक आहे सर.
तर माझा एक शेवटचा प्रश्न होता.
तुला नाव
हॅलो.
सांगता आपलं? हा, नाव सांगा.
डॉक्टर चंदू पाटील, आठवले सोशल वर्क कॉलेज, भंडारा.
ओके, गुड.
सर, प्लॅगरिझम मध्ये क्लीन शीट आहे आपल्याला नाही म्हणून, आणि एखाद्याने क्लेम केला आपल्याला, म्हणजे आज मी प्रकाशित करतो, आज क्लीन शीट आहे, आणि 10 दिवसांनी समजा किंवा नंतरच्या काळात एखाद्याने म्हटलं की यांनी माझं वाङ्मय चोरलं, तर
बोला ना. हॅलो.
म्यूट झाले, स्वतःच म्यूट झाले.
म्यूट झाले.
अनम्यूट करा तुम्हाला.
हॅलो.
तुमच्या प्रश्न मला कळलं. तुमच्या प्रश्न मला कळलं बरं का. अशा वेळी तुम्ही त्यांच्या ओरिजिनल क्रिएटिव्ह काम जे आहे ते सबमिट करा म्हणायचं. मग ओरिजिनल म्हणजे कधी होतो सांगतो तुम्हाला. तुम्ही पब्लिश करायच्या आधी त्यांनी पब्लिश केले का कुठं, त्यांची इयर ऑफ पब्लिकेशन डॉक्युमेंटेशन असतं, बरोबर आहे, ते घ्यायचं. पण ते घेऊन त्यांच्या डॉक्युमेंट तुम्ही कुठं साईट केले नसेल तर तो आपण दोषी आहे. पण आपण सायटेशन दिले असेल तर आपण दोषी नाही आहे. ते सिद्ध करण्यासाठी त्यांना काय करावं लागतं, त्यांचे ओरिजिनल आर्टिकल, ओरिजिनल डॉक्युमेंट, ओरिजिनल थिसिस PhD असेल तर त्यांना सबमिट करावं लागतं. माझे थिसिस मध्ये हे लिहिलेलं आहे, तुम्ही आहे तसंच घेतलेलं आहे, तुम्ही वापरलेलं नाही म्हणून तुमच्यावर त्यांनी हे करू शकता.
दुसरं महत्वाचं हे आहे सर की प्लॅगरिझमच्या सॉफ्टवेअर मध्ये एंट्र्या कशा होतात त्याच्याबद्दल जर थोडस, जसं आता म्हणजे ते व्हेरीफाय, ते तर एक तर सॉफ्टवेअर आहे, मग त्याच्यात एंट्री कशी केली जाते?
नाही, मी काय सांगतो तुम्हाला, आता बरेच ऍप डेव्हलप झाले. आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल तुम्हाला सांगू का, आता आपण झूम वापरतो, हा, झूम सोडून आणखीन काय प्लॅटफॉर्म आपल्याला आहे? कुठला इफेक्टिव्ह आहे त्याच्या आपण वापरायचा प्रयत्न करायचा. आता जे प्लेगॅरिझमचं जे स्टँडर्ड प्लेगॅरिझमचं ते मी तुम्हाला लिस्ट दिले बघा तिथं. हा, त्याच्यातलं एखादं चांगलं तुम्ही घ्या किंवा काही ते युजीसी म्हणतात ते तुम्ही हेच वापरा. म्हणजे स्टँडर्ड तुम्ही जरा हा वापरलं प्लेगॅरिझमचं सॉफ्टवेअर, शक्यतो असं काही होणार नाही.
ओके सर.
ओके,
सर लास्ट क्वेश्चन विचारू का?
बोला बोला.
माळी सर,
हा. हा
actually
सर बोला.
less time because another
हा,
session are
कोऑर्डिनेटर
ओके,
विचारा
थँक्यू
सर.
सर. ओके ओके.
we have last 10 minutes or
हो
we
हो.
can there also. ठीक आहे.
हा. सर आपण एखादा संदर्भ वापरताना एका पेजवर समजा 3 पॅरेग्राफ आहेत, आपल्याला फर्स्ट किंवा सेकंड किंवा थर्ड पॅरेग्राफ जसा तसा वापर करायचा असेल तर करू शकतो का?
हो, करू शकता ना.
हो, तेच मला शंका विचारायची फक्त.
त्याच्या गरज पडलं तर करू शकता. त्याच्या गरज असेल तर. युजली एकदा साईट केल्यानंतर परत त्याच्या गरज पडत नाही आहे. हा,
हो हो हो.
आपण काय करतो, ऍज इट इज रेकॉर्ड इन द फर्स्ट पॅराग्राफ असं आपण म्हणतो, वर नमूद केल्याप्रमाणे. बरोबर आहे की नाही आहे?
हो हो.
आपण काय म्हणतो, वरच्या पॅराग्राफ मध्ये नमूद केल्याप्रमाणे ऍज इट इज साइटेड इन द फर्स्ट पॅराग्राफ और सेकंड पॅराग्राफ और ऍज इट इज मेन्शन ऑन पेज नंबर सो अँड सो असं आपण म्हणतो. पण गरज पडले तर रियूज केलं तर काय प्रॉब्लेम नाही.
चालेल, थँक्यू सर.
ओके, वेळ होत आलेले बरेच मला वाटते. वी शुड गो टू नेक्स्ट सेशन.
राईट सर. Shall we start now, sir?
1-2 मिनिट आपण थांबूया, चालते? इज इट ओके?
Okay, sir.
तुम्ही
No problem.
तोपर्यंत माझे स्लाइड हे करून टाका. तुमच्याकडे दोन्ही स्लाइड दिलेले आहे तुम्हाला पीपीटीचा.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, sir. I have second side.
हा हा.
नमस्कार वाघ सर.
नमस्कार.
सर, सरांचे पुस्तकं आहेत तर त्या पुस्तकांची लिस्ट आपल्याला मिळेल का प्लीज?
हो, मिळेल ना मॅम. नक्कीच.
मग टाकाल का तुम्ही आपल्या ग्रुपवर?
ग्रुपवरती सर्व टायटल टाकतो मी आणि सरांचे
चालेल.
कुठल्या साईटवर परचेस करण्यासाठी लिंक असतील तर तेही टाकतो.
हो
सरांची
हो.
काही अडचण नाही.
कारण त्यांचे सोशल वर्कचे खूप चांगले पुस्तक आहे सर. फक्त मी
Yes,
एकच वाचलाय फील्ड वर्कचं त्यांचं आणखी, पण बरेचसे पुस्तकं आहेत त्यांचे आता. तेच त्यामुळे ते टाकाल तर सर्वांना फायदा होईल सर.
नक्कीच नक्कीच, शुअर.
हो, खूप खूप धन्यवाद सर.
वेलकम.
स्टार्ट करतो.
मेरा सभी प्रतिभागी के लिए एक निवेदन है. बिसाइड्स टॉपिक, अगर आपको कोई समस्या है, 1 मिनट का ब्रेक है अभी. अगर आप कुछ पूछना चाहते हो तो पूछ सकते.
हॅलो सर.
हाँ, बोला ना.
मला आहे ना कुंभार सरांचा नंबर पाहिजे होता सर. थोडं बऱ्याचपैकी त्यांच्याकडनं कन्सेप्ट करायच्या होत्या, कारण इथं बरेचसे प्रश्न विचारणं शक्य होत नाही.
माळी सर,
हा.
तुम्ही पर्सनल चॅट करा माझ्या नंबरवरती.
हा, मग
ठीक.
तुमचा नंबर देऊन द्या सर.
घ्या ना.
हा सांगा.
9921
9921 हा
22
हा येस सर
6874.
6874. थैंक यू सर.
एक्चुअली वाइल सेशन आप बहुत से लोगों के मैसेज मुझे आते हैं, जो भी यूट्यूब लाइव पे जो भी लोग हैं उनके भी कुछ क्वेश्चन रहते या क्यूरीज रहते, उनका भी आता. एक्चुअली जैसा पॉसिबल होता मैं तुरंत ही उनको रिप्लाई करता. पर
ठीक है
वाइल
सर.
सेशन इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. बहुत बार पॉसिबल नहीं होता सर कि सेशन शुरू रहते वक्त मैं
हाँ वही मेरा भी मतलब आइडिया था कि बार बार डिस्टर्ब करना अच्छा नहीं रहता है.
आफ्टर सेशन सर आफ्टर 3:30 वी आर फ्री टू शेयर.
ठीक है. थैंक यू सर.
We'll start now, okay?
ओके सर, नो प्रॉब्लम.
So
Is
we have
this PPT
complete.
visible for all? सर पीपीटी विजिबल आहे?
कोणीतरी सांगा दिसतंय का म्हणून.
हो हो दिसतंय.
हो सर.
हो दिसतंय.
Okay. So this is another important topic, how to write a scientific research paper. In the beginning of my previous session, I have expressed my concern over the academicians and their writings, how our young research scholars writing their research papers very carelessly in a way that is not acceptable to the standard research and academic committee and community. Therefore, writing a scientific research paper is a big challenge. And language and all today is not a big problem. As I told you, that there are few softwares, you can get it correct your language. I know 80% of the people many time they feel uncomfortable with the English. अरे आपल्याला इंग्लिश येत नाही, काय करायचं. तो विषय आता निघून गेलेला आहे. तुम्ही तुमच्या गाईडला सुद्धा काही विचारायचं जरूर नाही, तुमच्या टीचरला नाही, तुम्ही दुसऱ्या मित्राला विचारायचं नको. तुम्ही चॅट जीपीटीचं याच्यामध्ये जायचं. एवढं लाईफ सोपं झालेलं आहे. आय होप मोस्ट ऑफ यू आर युजिंग चॅट जीपीटी. ते चॅट जीपीटी मध्ये तुम्ही टेक्स्ट टाकले ना, तिथं कमेंट द्यायचं आहे की या टेक्स्टचं मला इंग्लिशचं करेक्शन करून रिसबमिट करा. लेस देन 1 minute less than 1 minute your article language will be corrected properly. म्हणून तो भीती गेली आता. मग भीती कशाचं? भीती ओरिजिनॅलिटीचं. शेवटी ओरिजिनल काम तुम्हालाच करायचं आहे. भाषा करेक्शन is just 10%. 90% of work is your own original. Therefore, writing a scientific research paper is not everybody's job. Therefore, each one of us will now try to understand how to write a research paper. The title is more important. Writing a title should show 3 to 4 important contents. For example, I had conducted a study on medical social work in Pune. The title was that a study of medical social work practices in health setting in Pune city. बघा किती how many contents are there? Medical social work practices is one part. Secondly, where it is practiced in the hospitals and health setting institutions. Second component. Third, where it is conducted in Pune city. Means of whom you are studying. I am studying of MSWs. What you are studying, their practices I am studying. Where you are studying, I am studying in Pune city. Many times, PhD students and article writers say, for example, if the same study you title it, no, the a study of medical social practices in Maharashtra, in health and in health setting in Maharashtra. What you will do? You are correct. Pune is in Maharashtra. So if you conducted such study with this title, if I question you why it is Maharashtra, so you have a escapism. Sir, you will tell, sir, I have written in my methodology, the study area is in Pune. No, that is not okay. What is okay is that the geographical location specifically you should write it. At the most, suppose you are selecting 5 to 6 districts, Marathwada, Western Maharashtra, Vidarbha, like that you mention it. Your geographical area should be specifically mentioned. Your the subjects on whom you are studying, that should be mentioned. And what you are studying, it should be mentioned. Another topic I will tell you that a study of the health status of the elderly women in Maharashtra during post-COVID. बघा इथं काय काय केलं मी elderly women I have taken, their health condition I have taken, their COVID the health physical and mental health I have taken, and their study period, that is after COVID I have taken, and in Maharashtra I have taken because I have studied from each and every district of Maharashtra. It means your title should be justificable. It should represent, I will use the proper term, your title should represent what your study has done. Once I read the title, I should be able to understand what exactly you have done. Therefore, the title should be very clear. And in the title, so include your name, the date, and organization, or a professional introduction. Usually date we do not mention there. It is mentioned somewhere in the last submission date. But your name and identification is more important. And your designation is more important. So write, for example, BT Lavani, Director, JSF Research Center affiliated to Pune University, Pune. This all gives your professional identity. Professional identity is more important in writing the research articles. Next. Next title, please. Ashok. Next slide. Can you hear me? Yeah. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to clear the total outline of all of you, and I will make you to understand the structure and follow of scientific articles, the very flow of scientific articles, and I will teach you how to avoid common mistakes, and I will try to improve the clarity and impact of writing. During my presentation, I'm going to do all these things. Next one. Here my presentation starts. My presentation topic as it is how to write a scientific research article. Means what is a scientific research article? A formal report sharing research finding with the academic community. Your research findings, that we call it as a disseminating the knowledge, means you are sharing your knowledge with your fellow academic colleagues. Therefore, you want to share your information, your knowledge to the people who are concerned. So it is a formal report. You want to share what your findings were with the other community. Why you want to do this? You want to do this because any research is having one end objective. The end objective is it should be useful to the others. Your research findings should be useful to the others, not to keep yourself. I have seen many research scholars, even after the declaration of their thesis, the result, if you ask them, can I see your PhD thesis? No, 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 it is very confidential. It is not at all confidential once the results are declared. Before the result is declared, it is a public document. Why it is a public document? Because it is submitted to university. University has to keep that document in their library. And today it is available on the UGC website. Therefore, you cannot hide it. आधीचं काही लोक त्यांचे थिसिस दाखवायला तयारच नसतात. त्यांचे कारण एवढंच आहे की काही चुका असेल तर कोणी बघायला नको. तसं काहीच नाही आहे. चुका असेल तर ते सांगतील ना, आपण दुरुस्त करून घेऊया. We are the student till the end of our life. Nobody is master. Nobody is final. So therefore, असं काही विचार करायचा नाही कधी व आपण आपला थिसिस दाखवायचा नाही. So therefore, we want to disseminate knowledge with the people to provide data for replication and validation. Two things are very important. So if I did something, okay, on medical social practices, I have conducted study. So in Nagpur, you can also conduct study. In Bangalore, in Varanasi, you can conduct your study. In Delhi, you can conduct your study. You can change the location. You can replicate it. If 4 to 5 such studies are there, then we can say the findings, we will generalize all the findings of all the theses. Then we'll come to conclusion. The other researcher will take our references and he will come to a conclusion that whether medical social work practices in India have done perfectly or not. So therefore, the purpose of writing a research article is to disseminate the knowledge and to provide data for replication and its validation. What are its characteristics? Many people, especially about PhD thesis, they are concerned with their number of pages, 500 pages, 700 pages. There was a student whose PhD thesis is 900 pages. मैंने बोला 900, what was necessary for that? Go on adding theoretical aspect, theoretical, no. Whatever is required, you will have to add over there. It is not the quantity that matter. It is the quality that matter. In science particularly, there are PhD theses of 10 pages, 15 pages, finish. So, therefore, it must be precise. The first characteristic of research article is there. I always request our my writers to my journal, they write no. Recently, I got a research article of 8,000 pages, 8,000 words. 8,000 words. I requested him reduce to 3,000. Our requirement is only 3,000. He said, sir, 8,000, how can I reduce it? I said, it is your job, not my job. Therefore, presentation should be very precise and it should be, and people have no time to read your lengthy 500 pages book or 20 pages article. No, people have no time. They want very precise, practical information. So make it precise. The objective should be very clear, and it should be evidence based. Any scientific paper is having a database, and database is based on the evidences that are practiced. Without evidence, there is no research. So evidence based research we are doing it. To make your article more evidence based, then you should have a practical approach and database study you are doing. Then you can make it a very evidence based, precise, clearly having objective of your research paper. Next one. What are the steps to be followed before writing? This is more important. Understand the journal requirements. Each journal has specific guidelines, such as formatting, word limits, and referencing styles. Formatting means, for example, I will tell you, so you should submit Times New Roman fonts only. The font size should be 12 point. The spacing should be single spacing or 1.5, whatever is there. So the page size should be like that. So everything is mentioned in their requirement. So formatting, you should understand. Word limits, just I told you, 8,000, 7,000 words. No, they mention that how many words are required, right? And those words only you will have to calculate and write it. And today, because of in your computer, so the article immediately we can see how many words your article is having. And referencing style, I told you, each in medical sciences they have their own referencing styles. In social sciences, particularly with the social workers, we follow the APA style of references. American Psychological Association, they have developed this format, and that we are following it. Okay, then we should check. I was searching. एक 2-3 दिवस इतका माझे वेळ गेले. आता माझे जे रिसर्च स्टडी झाले, 10,000 लोकांचा अभ्यास केलो मी. मैंने 10,000 लोगों का, महाराष्ट्र का जो बुजुर्ग लोग है, महिला, उनका मैंने स्टडी किया है एक्चुअली. सो वो रिसर्च रिपोर्ट रेडी है. उसके ऊपर हमने 3 आर्टिकल बनाया है. वन दैट इज सोशियो इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन ऑफ एल्डरली वुमेन इन महाराष्ट्र, रूरल महाराष्ट्र. Secondly, their physical health status during post-COVID. Third article, their mental health. Fourth article also we are developing that the situation and life situation during the COVID, how did they face? These are the 4 articles we have prepared, and I am searching a relevant journal. हम क्या करते हैं? Let any journal we should send it. No. If you publish your article in the relevant fields, that is going to be popular, because the concerned people will read that article. So I am searching, and I have searched out 5 to 10 different journals now, and I'm going to submit my articles over there. So choose a suitable journal. Ensure the journal aligns with your research field and target audience. मैंने एक सोच के इंडियन जर्नल ऑफ जेरोंटोलॉजी इज देयर, उनको मैंने सबमिट करना है एक्चुअली. उनका प्रोसीजर है, इट विल टेक 6 months ऑफ कोर्स. अभी मेरा स्टडी का थोड़ा क्या हुआ, अभी स्टडी कंडक्ट करके हमने 1 साल हुआ उसके बारे में. बिकॉज ऑफ माई अदर एक्टिविटीज एंड ऑल, आई वाज अनेबल टू राइट ऑल दोज 4 आर्टिकल्स. अभी रेडी हुआ. थोड़ा जल्दी करना बोले तो कम से कम 3 महीने के अंदर तो नहीं होता एक्चुअली. सो आई एम आल्सो फाइंडिंग लाइक दैट. देयरफॉर choose a suitable journal that suits your theme. Then gather data. Verify that all experiments or surveys are complete and results are organized. Then create an outline. A roadmap ensures logical flow and prevents missed actions. These are few precautions we should take before starting to write an article. Next, please. Structure of a scientific research article. See, it has the universal format. Universal format is like that. Almost all the 99% of the journals, they are having the format which I am going to explain you. The title summarizes the essence of the research. As I told you, it depicts. टाइटल पढ़ने के बाद हमें क्लियर हो जाता है वो स्टडी कौन सा सब्जेक्ट के ऊपर किया है, उसका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या था एक्चुअली, कौन सा जियोग्राफिकल एरिया में किया है. सो ऑल दैट इज फोकस्ड in the title itself. Framing the title is really a challenging one. A lengthy title, not at all advisable. A title should be very specific. Limited words should be there. Words which are essential only you put it. Otherwise, writing like a summary, no. So, make it precise. Use the required terms only. And it should be sometime make it a catchy title also. Catchy title means what? A reader should create interest in himself. अरे ये कुछ तो different article है, मुझे ये पढ़ना ही है. Understand? So therefore, like that, make your title very catchy, attractive, and people puller. That is, जो भी देखता है, अरे कुछ तो इसको पढ़ना है. टाइटल के बाद a brief overview of the entire study. That is, we call it as a abstract. There are few articles I review for my journal. The abstract is in 600 words, 700 words, sometimes more than a page. It goes to the next page also. It should be very brief, but of course, it should cover the entire study. It should be like a overview of the study. That covers in one or two sentences what is your study, another sentence what was your objective, another sentence what methodology you used, another sentence what was the sample size, another sentence which geographical area you covered. After that, what were the important findings, one or two important findings, and most important, what is the contribution of your study to the academic society has to be brought out here in the abstract. Therefore, this abstract sketching is again an art for all of us and a challenge to the young researchers. Then introduction, thereafter, it should give the context and rationale for the study. So, give brief introduction, संदर्भ काय होतं त्याच्या आणि त्याचे रॅशनल काय आहे हे उवापू जे करतो ना, that should be there in the introduction. I tell you how your research articles become very big. No, it becomes big because you are giving a very lengthy introduction of 5 to 6 pages. Don't do that. Make your introduction relevant and as per the requirement. Then methods, how the research was conducted, we call it as a methodology. So how it is conducted, when it is conducted, on whom it is conducted, who were the research subjects, okay, what was the duration, all that. But my dear friends, in articles I have found, in methodology, we call it as a methods and material something. What we do, you know that, objectives of the study, then methodology, Then sampling size, study duration. Don't write all those things. And you write in the bullet point also. Don't do that. Research methodology or methods and material, it should be in a paragraph. It don't write objective of the study, below that you are writing the objective, geographical region, below that you are writing sample size, below that. No, 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 not at all. It should be in a summary, and it should be a small paragraph, not more than 10 sentences. उसके आगे जाना ही नहीं हमें. What you are explaining there? The study objective you are explaining, study hypothesis you are explaining, study reason you are explaining, then study the geographical reason, then time framework you are writing there. If it is there, ethical aspect also you can write it. The study had got the ethical permission by the ethics committee. All these things, then finish. What tools you used, whether you used the interview schedule, whether it was a qualitative study or a quantitative study, all that you should write in a summary in one paragraph. Keep in your mind, I repeat once again, methodology in research article should not be in a different headings. It should be only in one paragraph. Then results, what was found. This is more important, because every exercises and efforts what we are doing is doing for this only, to get some results. Whether results, many time what happens, positive results and negative results. So about my study, in my study about this rural elderly women during post COVID, there are some positive results. My research team, one of the senior person was asking, सर ये अच्छा नहीं है, बोले क्या अच्छा नहीं, उनका वो पॉजिटिव पर रिजल्ट. अरे पॉजिटिव है तो उसको नेगेटिव करना है क्या आपको? You are going to give a factual information. The point I'm telling that only 14% of rural elderly women were under tension after the COVID. Post COVID में है वो actually. वो बोल रहे ऐसा कैसे होता, ओनली 14%. 14 को 28 करना है क्या आपको, मैंने पूछा. So therefore, whatever is the result, whether it is a positive or negative, you should write factually. Then discussion, what the findings mean. I was explaining in my previous lecture that in the discussion, actually in discussion what happens, I tell you that we should have always a comparison between your study and the studies conducted previously related to your theme. What was their findings and what is your finding? Whether your findings are aligned with the previous findings or they differ with the previous findings. If they differ with the previous findings, how do you conclude? If they stand in tune with the same findings, how do you conclude? Then you should take your decision that, so in the conclusion. Therefore, discussion should be a logical discussion. Logical discussion means Dr. B.T. Launi had conducted a study on medical social work in Pune city, and he had come out with a finding that most of the professional social workers were not given proper responsibilities in the hospital setting. This is my finding. And you are conducting in Nagpur or Varanasi or Delhi in Chennai, then what is your finding? Whether your finding stands with the same or not. And if they stand aligned with my findings, then you can say something else. If it is different, then you can have a different conclusion. Therefore, taking quote of other findings in the discussion should be there. Otherwise, your discussion has no meaning. So, the findings and its discussion are more important in the research paper. And here, conclusion, summary of key points and implications. So, what is the summary, a conclusion, and what are the important implications? In this format, one small point is left out. After the abstract, we use key terms or keywords. So the keywords are for the purpose that what is the use of writing keywords? So you are by using the keywords, if we put it in the search in your word, that it is easy to find out your article. So keywords are important there. After the abstract, you can write keywords 5 to 6 keywords. Writing the title. The title is the first thing, right? Reader see, it should grab attention. This I have already explained to you. It should be a catchy, it should be clear, it should be easy to understand, it should focus your themes. I am using so many terms here. Try to understand the meaning of each and every term that I am consciously using for you. Face is the index of the mind. Face is the index of the mind. First impression is the best impression. These things you see. Therefore, once the reader look into the title, अरे एक कुछ तो है, इसमें कुछ तो मेरे लिए अलग ही है, ऐसा वो आदमी सोचना, उनको सोचने के लिए हम उनको मोटिवेशन करना है. Therefore, the title, should be very catchy and it should grab the attention of the reader. Be concise but informative. Informative means तुम्हें स्टडी, आपने स्टडी किसके ऊपर किया है, कौन सा एस्पेक्ट स्टडी किया है, कहाँ किया है. अभी मैंने और एक रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट इंप्लीमेंटेशन कर रहा हूं, दैट इज द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ न्यूट्रिशनल inputs on the health of the street children in Pune city. The impact of nutritional inputs on the health status of the street children in Pune city. This is an interventional study. It is sponsored by one of the IT industry. We have undertaken this study and 400 street children we have covered. Currently the study is going on and we have conducted the baseline study of all the 400 children. We have identified their nutritional status, their health status. Then we have come up with the requirements to be done. We have identified nutritional supplements. We are now giving 3 months continuously nutritional status supplements to those children. After 3 months, again we are going to take a study and we are going to compare whether their health condition has changed because of our nutrition given to them or not. We want to study it. Therefore, the whatever you are doing, the title should give the clear meaning. In my topic, for example, impact of nutritional status on the impact of the nutrition supplements on the health condition of the street children in Pune city. Means I am studying the street children, the children they are in the Pune, and I am studying their nutritional status and I am giving them nutritional food and I am checking their impact. That is impact of the nutrition supplements on their health condition. This should be like that. So be concise but informative. Avoid technical jargon unless essential. कुछ लोक क्या करते हैं, काही लोकांना असं वाटतं की आपण काहीतरी एखादा नवीन टर्म टायटल मध्ये टाकले ना खूप मस्त होणार अगदी, आणि मी काहीतरी भारी आहे असं आपल्याला कधी कधी दाखवायचं पण असतं. कुछ लोग ऐसा होता है कि अरे मैं कुछ अलग ही कर रहा हूं, कुछ जार्गन वर्ड्स
something that word may not be suitable to your topic also, ऐसा हमने यूज करता है, वो यूज नहीं करना है. Then the title should reflect the main focus of your study. Once a reader go through your title, he should understand what you have done. Next. Ashok sir. Next please. Next slide. Yes, abstract. अपने टाइटल के बारे में बात किया. अभी abstract. What is the purpose of the abstract? Summarize the entire study. I told already. Often determining if readers proceed further. What you should do usually, the abstract, as I told you, the readers do not have time to read your entire article if it is not related to them. Therefore, what do? They will read the abstract, and based on the abstract, if they feel abstract is useful for them, then they will read the entire article. Therefore, make your abstract very meaningful, that gives your the purpose, objectives, your hypothesis, methodology, and the study design, which is whether qualitative or quantitative, and measure findings. As I told you, its background you should write it here in the abstract. Objective you should write. Methods, how it was done. Results, key findings, and main takeaway, what it gives to you. So write the abstract also to ensure accuracy. Next one. Already I explained keywords are more important. It helps readers and search engines find your article. See, once it is loaded on the software or loaded on different websites, and say for example you submit your article to me, to my journal, once it is accepted and published, we are putting it on the website, and मुझे search करना है, for example say NGOs in development, my book is there. So you want something, a book or the article on NGOs in development. So the keyword for that is NGOs. And more specifically, if you write NGOs in development, closer term, because if you search NGO, thousands of words, thousands of articles will be appeared. So NGOs in development, if you put on, then it will scrutiny, and the results required to you only will be searched. Choose words directly related to your study. So indirect terms are not advised. Use terms that are commonly searched. So this is how you should take care of in writing the key terms. Next. Next, please. Introduction. As I explained, it provides context and justifies the research. I told you the other term I used. It will give the rationale of the study. See, introduction in the thesis is different. Introduction in the article is different. In the article, at the most, you can make it 1 or 1.5 pages. That is not more than 5 to 600 terms or 700 terms. You may ask me, sir, is there any rule like that? There is no rule, but there are few journals who accept only 2000 words. Then if you use more space for the introduction, then you are not going to give justification to the findings, conclusion, and discussion. Therefore, make as much as possible the brief introduction which will justify the study you have undertaken, justifies the research that you have undertaken. Then what should it include? It starts with broad background information. Background information means it gives in one small paragraph what is the status of your current study at the international level, at the national level, at your state level, how it's all in one small paragraph, around 6 to 7, 8 sentences. You can make it. And not only that, so what is the reason for conducting this study? Are there not studies already undertaken? And if they are undertaken, in what way you are different than those other people? All that you need to explain in the introduction. Then here, in the introduction, highlight the research gap. Many a time, in the article, the writers write research gaps in a separate heading. You can write, no problem, but usually at the end of the introduction, dear friends, listen what I'm telling. At the end of the introduction, you should write that in the context of the above discussion, the present study had undertaken to know and understand and to fill the research gap that is found, namely, write what was the research gap and start with other things. Therefore, I'm telling you, writing research paper is really a skill. At the end of the introduction, why you are conducting this study, why you have conducted that, what was the rationale, and what was the research gap, that you should make it. Or otherwise, you can say after the introduction, if you want to. In the methodology, also many people in the methodology they write what was the research gap. And many time, my dear friends, in the article, many people they write very lengthy review of literature. Please don't do that. बहुत बड़ा 3-4 पेजेस का रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर होता है, जैसे थीसिस में लिखता है ना, वैसा ये लोग करता है. नहीं माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, ऐसा नहीं है. वो क्या करना है आपको मालूम है ना, वो समरी ऑफ द रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर दैट यू हैव अंडरटेकन बिफोर योर स्टडी. जो आपने रिव्यू किया ना, उसका एक कंसाइज समरी इधर लिखना है. देयर आल्सो यू कैन राइट द रिसर्च गैप. So you can write research gap at the end of the introduction, or you can write the research gap at the end of the review of literature. You can add review of literature separately or in the introduction also. Dear friends, listen to me very carefully. In the introduction itself, at the end of the introduction, you can write a paragraph of the review of literature that you have done and what was the outcome of that review. And after that, so this review shows the research gap such as, then you write, it is because of this the present study, the current study had undertaken. ऐसा आपको लिखना है, नाहीतर तुम्ही लांब लचक काहीतरी लिहित गेले नो. म्हणून तुम्हाला काय सांगायचंय, आर्टिकल मध्ये एक एक शब्द, अजून थोडा मागा या बरं का, अजून थोडा मागा या तुम्ही मागच्या सेशनला. एक एक शब्द तुम्हाला मोजून वापरायचा आहे आणि लॉजिकली वापरायचा आहे. आणि तो शब्द वापरण्याचं गरज आहेच असं खात्री करून तुमच्या आर्टिकल मध्ये प्रत्येक शब्द वापरायचा आहे. नाही तर तिकडचं कॉपी करा, इथं टाकून द्या, तिकडचं कॉपी करा, इथं टाकून द्या. सोपं आहे, सगळं टाकून दिले, भरलं 7,000-8,000 शब्द. नो. Then end with your studies objectives and hypothesis and avoid including detailed methods or results. मी आता बोललो तुम्हाला डिटेल मेथडॉलॉजी आर्टिकल मध्ये लिहायचं नाहीये, डिटेल रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर याच्यामध्ये लिहायचं नाहीये. हे सगळं पार्ट ऑफ इंट्रोडक्शन मध्ये येतो किंवा मेथड्स अँड मटेरियल मध्ये तुम्हाला टाकता येते. देन मटेरियल्स अँड मेथड्स. You should write the purpose. It enables other researchers to replicate your study. Clearly describe your study design, tools and procedures in a single sentences. आपल्याला स्टोरी बनवायचं नाही तिथं. आपल्याला माहिती द्यायचं आहे तुम्ही कोणतं मेथड वापरलेलं आहे, कोणतं टूल वापरलेलं आहे, स्टडी डिझाईन कोणतं वापरलेलं आहे, असंच आपल्याला करायचं आहे. Then include enough details but avoid unnecessary repetition. आता कोणीतरी प्रश्न विचारले होते मला, सर आधी एका पॅराग्राफ मध्ये एखाद्यांचं रिव्ह्यू मध्ये ते घेतलेलं आहे रेफरन्स म्हणून, परत ते रिपीट करायचंय का? सो युजली इट इज नॉट टेकन ओव्हर देअर. ऍट द मोस्ट इफ यू फील देअर ॲज इट इज रेफर्ड इन द previous paragraph or in the previous part of the article, that is suffice, not to repeat, because it increases the word length, article length. Then use subsections for clarity. Say participants, instruments, data analysis वगैरे. तुम्ही सब पॉइंट्स वापरा, पण माझ्या मतेप्रमाणे हे जे मत आहे ना मी शेवटचं मांडतो आहे, हे अनेक लोकांचं जनरल ओपिनियन आहे. पण ॲज ए एडिटर ऑफ ए जर्नल, ॲज ए रिसर्चर, ॲज द रिव्ह्यूअर ऑफ द आर्टिकल्स, मी एक 2 महत्वाचं जर्नलचं रिव्ह्यूअर आहे. एक टाटा इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ सोशल सायन्सचं इंडियन जर्नल ऑफ सोशल वर्क यांचे मी ऑफिशियल रेग्युलर रिव्ह्यूअर आहे. सेकंडली द ब्रिटिश जर्नल ऑफ सोशल वर्क आहे, त्यांचे मी रिव्ह्यूअर आहे. त्यांच्या गाईडलाईन्स मी स्टडी केलेला आहे. त्यांच्या गाईडलाईन प्रमाणे मला आर्टिकल रिव्ह्यू करावा लागतो. म्हणून शक्यतो तुमच्या मटेरियल अँड मेथड्स बुलेट पॉइंट मध्ये टाकायचं जास्त जरूर असणार आहे, तो पॅराग्राफ मध्ये. त्याचं कारण एवढंच आहे, आपल्याला शब्दाचं संख्या कमी करायचं आहे. हमें वो जो भी आपने वर्ड्स यूज कर रहे हैं उसको कम करना है, क्योंकि वर्ड लिमिट इज आल्सो देयर. नेक्स्ट वन. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. Results. So in results, present findings objectively without interpretation. Result मध्ये. So use tables, charts and graphs to summarize data. How people do not edit properly their tables. And by-way table, multiple variable tables, हे जे वापरताना, so we should use it properly. So charts वापरा, graphs वापरा आणि summarize the data. आणखीन एक काय होतं याच्यामध्ये आर्टिकल मध्ये, हमें क्या करता है, डेटा एक ही वेरिएबल का होता है. हमें क्या करता है, हम क्या करते हैं उसमें, वो टेबल के फॉर्मेट में भी रखना है और ग्राफ्स के फॉर्मेट में भी रखते हैं. दोनों रखना जरूर नहीं है. यूज ओनली वन. एक तो टेबल, एक दो चार्ट और तो ग्राफ, तीनों में एक ही यूज करना है फॉर वन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सो एजुकेशन एंड द geographical region of the respondents under the study. Or geographical region means rural or urban and their education. What I wanted to study here, so I wanted to classify, try to understand whether education status differs from rural to urban or urban to rural, like that. For that I want it. Therefore, what we do, we use some tables, charts एंड ग्राफ्स. एंड एक वेरिएबल के लिए एक ही तरीका यूज करना है. एक तर टेबल वापरा, एक तर चार्ट वापरा, एक तर ग्राफ्स वापरा. आणि हे कशासाठी वापरतो? आपलं अटेन्शन फोकस होण्यासाठी. टेबल न वापरता पण तुम्हाला रिझल्ट लिहिता येते. लिहू नये असं नाहीये. टेबल पाहिजेच असा आग्रह नाहीये. पण टेबल आणि डायग्राम का टाकतो आपण? थोडस ते डेटावर आपण फोकस करता येते आणि इझी टू अंडरस्टँड. क्लॅरिटी इज मोर इन दी प्रेझेंटेशन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ टेबल्स or graphs or charts. And highlight key trends and statistics. Statistical test, we do it. And what for the current statistical test used, and what correlation it is having, what statistical significance that your results carries, all that you should write it here. Ensure that visuals are labeled clearly and include captions. इवन टेबलचं टायटल, ग्राफचं टायटल आहे, डायग्रामचं टायटल आहे, त्याला एक तर तुम्हाला नंबर द्यावा लागतो. टेबल 1.1 आर, टेबल नंबर 1, टेबल नंबर 2, ग्राफ नंबर 1, डिझाईन नंबर 1, वॉट एव्हर असेल हे तुम्हाला नंबरिंग करावा लागतो. नेक्स्ट त्या डिस्कशन. सो रिझल्ट झाल्यानंतर डिस्कशन करायचं आहे. आता ऑलरेडी मी तुम्हाला बोलून झालेलं आहे. ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन दिस. This interprets results and relates them to existing literature. For example, compare your findings with previous studies. As I told you, Dr. B.T. Launi had conducted a study on medical social practices in Pune city. Now I am conducting this study in Chennai, and my findings are like this, and his findings are like that, and the similarity, differences, why there is a similarity, why there is a difference, you can logically make a conclusion. म्हणून I had told that a discussion without comparing your findings with the previous study is not a discussion. It is only explanation. My dear friends, explanation is different than the discussion. In discussion, we want to justify our results in the research article. So, discuss implications and potential applications, where it can be applied and how it can be applied, and address limitations and suggest future research. Here in the discussion, you can mention that what were the limitations of your study. The limitations are to be focused. When I had conducted the study of rural women post-COVID period, what was our limitation? I tell you, when data were collected, we had appointed 18 research field officers. For each district, we had appointed one research investigator. When they had been to their home, they had no private place to discuss. आपको मालूम है रूरल में ज्यादा बड़ा घर नहीं होता है. बड़ा घर रहे तो भी लोग ज्यादा घर में रहते हैं, उनको प्राइवेसी नहीं मिलता है डिस्कशन करने के लिए. सो ड्यूरिंग कोविड आपको तकलीफ हुआ क्या? आपको सेपरेट जगह थे क्या? सोने के लिए अच्छे जगह मिले क्या? खाने को मिलते थे क्या? घर में खाने मिलते हैं क्या? आपको कुछ हेरेसमेंट हुआ है क्या? ये दीज क्वेश्चंस हमें पूछता है. सबके सामने पूछना डिफिकल्ट है. That is a major limitation. So that limitation, such limitations, you can mention it and suggest for the future research. आगे का रिसर्च क्या करना है, कौन सा वेरिएबल्स लेना है, वो आपका डिस्कशन में लिखना है. म्हणून तुम्हाला काय करायचंय, जे तुम्ही सगळं इथं डिस्कशन करताय ना, त्या डिस्कशन मध्ये पूर्ण फ्युचर कोर्स ऑफ ऍक्शन, म्हणजे पुढं जे रिसर्च करणार आहे त्यांनी काय काय करावं ते फोकस तुम्हाला करावं लागतं. then maintain a logical flow and avoid overstating your results. कधी कधी रिपिटेशन्स होतो आहे. आणि I tell you, my dear friends, when I read a research article, it should go in a continuation flow. A flow of continuity should be there. It's like a story. You can say a research story. What you can say? It's like a research story, but it's not an imagination story. It is a fact and figure story. It is the life situation of the story. It is a condition of their life. So, for example, I have conducted a study on rural women. Know that when I write my research articles, it should focus their life situation during and after COVID. Oh, one more thing, my dear researchers, please keep in your mind when I read an article, research article, I mean, I should get a picture like a painter depicts in his painting. You are going to depict a picture in the form of words. My dear participants, I have one more suggestion here. Keep in your mind, this article is not written for you, this is written for the readers. It is your study, you have understood, and you are comfortable with the article. When it is given to the new person, whether a new person is able to understand your research article or not, we should cross check ourselves. Means here, critical thinking is more important. You will have to critically think whatever I have written is correctly written or not. Whether my reader is going to embrace out of these findings or what. How I am going to give him a clear message. Therefore, keep in your mind always whatever you write, you are writing for the readers, not for your self satisfaction, not for your API, not for your reputation that I have recent article written and it is published. No. These are, of course, they are hidden agenda. They are hidden. But what is focused here that you should keep in your mind always, right from the title to the end of the article. Yes, I am going to write this for the reader, not for myself. Therefore, I should make every effort to help the reader to understand my research article clearly so that it can be useful for the reader. In the conclusion part, summarize the significance of your study, why it was conducted, how it was conducted, and what significance it is having. What you are going to give a message to the academic community, what you are going to give the message to the different stakeholders. For example, I have conducted a study of the rural elderly women, 10,000 women. Okay. And for government, what I'm going to give a message? Government is a indirect stakeholder here. And government is a stakeholder which creates the policies for the rural women. And my article should make some suggestions as much as possible to address the government that these are the policies required for these women who are living in the rural area whenever there is a pandemic situation arises, whenever disaster comes. Therefore, my 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 article should have its significance in terms of its end use and policymakers or different stakeholders. Then here in the conclusion, restate the main findings. Conclusion should also have some facts and figures, not an issue. And if you don't want facts and figures, but you can make it, these were the major findings like that. You are repeating over there, restating over there in the conclusion. Then discuss broader implications. So, how it is going to help in a broader way? What happens, I tell you, my dear friends, in social science research, the effect or implication or its impact is not clearly visible and not immediately visible, it is in a long time that is going to make an impact on the subject on which and on whom you have conducted a study. Then suggest areas for further research. Already there in the discussion, we make it. Then keep it concise and avoid introducing new data. Concise means it is like a abstract. Abstract में स्टोरी बोलता है. So इधर दोनों में जो डिफरेंस है, डिफरेंशिएट करना है. जो उधर डाला है, इधर नहीं डालने का है. Therefore, conclusion is another important part of the article. Next question. After the conclusion, you are there to write the references. I spoke also in the plagiarism presentation. Acknowledge sources and avoid plagiarism. If you are not using sources, that become a document of that is plagiarism. Follow the journal's preferred referencing style. APA, MLA, whatever is there. But I advise for all of you who are concerned with social sciences and related discipline, better you can go for the APA. That is most commonly accepted fact. Then use citation tools like EndNote or EndNote means what? EndNote means wherever you make a reference, then you are giving explanation about that on the same page. Sometimes it is called as the footnotes also. Footnote is not a reference. It is explaining about that reference or explaining about a particular conclusion or explaining about a data that they are used it, that footnote. And footnotes are used on the same pages only. Next. And one more thing, in-text citation. In-text citation means in the bracket I told you it is Lavani colon means one dot below the other, right? And year only 2025. And that is appeared again in detail in the list of the references. This is more important. Common mistakes to avoid. A few examples I've given here. Using vague titles or abstracts. Already I explained the title should not be vague. Abstract should be up to the point. Poorly organized sections means many times people go for paragraph for no reason. Paragraph is required where subject matter changes. But most of us what we do, अरे हे पॅराग्राफ खूप मोठं झालेलं आहे, याच्यात 2 करूया, 3 पॅराग्राफ करूया. No. So unless and otherwise it is required for paragraphing, don't do that. जेव्हा पॅराग्राफ करतो, दुसरा पॅराग्राफ मध्ये आपण दुसरा विषय सांगत असतो, पण आधीचा पॅराग्राफला सोडून आणखी नवीन काहीतरी सांगतो असं पण नाही आहे. And including unnecessary details, as I told you that in the introduction and all, making so many things you are adding. आता because of freely available Google literature material, everything is freely available. म्हणून आता अनेक वेळा मी असं करतो, review of literature. If you go to the Google, no, you just give a command, review of literature on the medical social work, review of literature and so, you will get the big list. Actually, आता तो विषय माझा नहीं है बर का, ये मेरा सब्जेक्ट नहीं, फिर भी मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ. What is review of literature? Can anybody answer to my question, please, in 1 or 2 sentences? What is review of literature? Anybody can make an attempt. I hope all of you are listening to me.
Yes, sir, we are listening.
हाँ, Anybody can make an effort to answer what is review of literature in a simple way.
नमस्कार सर. आतापर्यंत
नमस्कार.
जे रिसर्च पेपर असेल, रिसर्च आर्टिकल असेल, जे सर्व झालेलं साहित्य आहे ते सर्व पाहणं म्हणजे रिव्ह्यू ऑफ रिलेटेड लिटरेचर.
दॅट्स गुड. दॅट्स गुड. बट आपण काय करतो माहिती आहे ना, आता गुगल गुरु असल्यामुळे रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचरचं कमेंट टाकतो आणि तिथं मोठं यादी येतो. बरोबर ना मॅडम? हा, ती यादी जी आहे ना, ती यादी आहे ना, जसं तसं कॉपी करून आपण टाकून देतो थिसिस मध्ये. पण पण रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर, व्हॉट इज रिअल रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर? नो, यू शुड फुल्ली रीड दॅट आर्टिकल. यू शुड रीड दॅट बुक. दोज आर्टिकल यू रेफर्ड. आता मला अजूनही आठवते, माझी एमफिल थिसिस साठी टाटा इन्स्टिट्यूटला जाऊन 67 रिसर्च आर्टिकल्स तेव्हा मी झेरॉक्स करून आलो. इट वॉज रिलेटेड टू सोशल वर्क, एज्युकेशन अँड फील्ड इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स. तेव्हा मी करताना गुगल पण नव्हतं, काही नव्हतं ना. मग मला पर्याय नव्हतं की ते सर्व आर्टिकल झेरॉक्स करणं, ते आणून अभ्यास करणं, मग त्याचं सगळं रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर लिहिणं. म्हणजे आपको क्या करना है, व्हाट यू आर सपोज टू डू इन द लिटरेचर, यू विल हॅव टू रीड दॅट आर्टिकल एक्झॅक्टली, देन मेक ए रिव्ह्यू. Unless you read article fully, you cannot make a review of article. And in your, my dear friends, listen to me very critically, consciously. I'm making comment that in your research paper, you are giving 15 to 20 references. I have a question to all of those people, not you, that whether that person has make a fully reading of those articles listed in the article. 20 आर्टिकलचं आपण यादी देतो, ते 20 आर्टिकल पूर्ण आपण वाचून काढले का सुरुवातीपासून येईपर्यंत? हा प्रश्न आपल्या समोर असला पाहिजे. रिसर्च इज नॉट अ इझी जॉब. टुडे इट इज व्हेरी इझी जॉब. म्हणून मागं लोक 5 वर्ष 6 वर्ष लोकांचं दाढी वाढले म्हणले की हा का तर संशोधन करतो म्हणे, हा त्याला वेळ नाही दाढी करायला, त्याला वेळ नाही जेवण करायला, त्याला वेळ नाही इकडं जायला तिकडं जायला, असं काय तर बोलायचं. आत्ताच जनरेशन हसत खेळत, म्हणजे दिस इज नॉट अप्लिकेबल टू ऑल द रिसर्चर्स, बट मेजॉरिटी ऑफ देम दे डू इट इन अ व्हेरी लिझरली, व्हेरी हॅपीली, कम्फर्टेबली, काही टेन्शन स्ट्रेस न घेता, काही अभ्यास न करता. म्हणून रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर इज अ लिटरेचर रिव्ह्यू दॅट यू हॅव रेफर्ड. सपोज you want to make a review of BT Lavani's medical social work, you should read my article on medical social work, then review that article. Then it is a real review of literature. But practically, it doesn't happen in 90% of the candidates. Only 10% of those people would do this. Therefore, this has to be taken care very seriously. And then ignoring reviewer comments etc. झाले. इग्नोरिंग रिव्ह्यू ऑफ कॉमेंट्स म्हणजे कधी कधी आपण आर्टिकल सबमिट करतो. वी डू सबमिट अवर आर्टिकल टू द डिफरंट जर्नल्स अँड दे सेंड टू द रिव्ह्यूवर मेक सम कॉमेंट्स अँड आय सेंड बॅक टू द रायटर्स, प्लीज यू डू दिस. 2 times 3 times they are unable to understand what is the suggestion, and finally they request, sir कुछ तो करके एडजस्ट करके डाल दीजिए ना. So therefore, whatever a reviewer has made a comment, reviewer means your article reviewer. Your article is sent to the other academician. That person will read and make comments on your article and make suggestions. Those suggestions you should not neglect, and take those suggestions positively and revise your article. And more important, that is proofread and revise multiple time. मैंने पहला प्रेजेंटेशन में आपको बताया था, आपको एक बार नहीं 10 बार आपका खुद का आर्टिकल आपको पढ़ना है. You will have to read your article not 1 time, 10 times yourself before you submit your article. My dear friends, I am experiencing very bad experiences that our writers who submit their article, they never bother of correcting, they never bother of formatting, they never bother of English grammar checking. Grammar checking is there available in the computer. Spell checking, space भी वो देखता नहीं है. दो तीन तीन वर्ड्स ऐसे विदाउट स्पेस दे आर देयर, and in the computer it shows red line. They submit like that only. Means we are very careless, and carelessness spoils our career. If you become a careless writer, your career will be spoiled. Therefore, become a careful writer. That is going to help you. Use simple and precise language. रिसर्च में सिंपल लैंग्वेज यूज करना है. वन मोर इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग प्लीज, द आर्टिकल शुड बी रिटन इन सिंपल पास्ट टेंस. इंग्लिश सिंपल पास्ट टेंस में लिखना है आपको. Many time in methodology, I have read that the researcher will collect data of 500 people. It is because they copied as it is from the research proposal and put it in the research article. So therefore, make it simple, precise language, and simple past tense. Then avoid excessive technical jargons. Whatever is possible to avoid, you avoid it. Write in active voice for readability, and ensure smooth transitions between various sections. This is all about. I think this is the last slide, or anything is there?
2 slide more, sir.
Please. Next one. The submission process, that is select a journal and prepare your manuscript accordingly, right? Then write a cover letter addressing the editor. Then submit via the journal's portal and respond to reviewers' feedback promptly. These are the common guidelines. You should do it. The journal give instruction how to submit your article. There are two types of submission article. One, you can submit through the email, or there are few journals you can submit directly on the portal of the journal. So you can use that. Then summary and takeaways. Writing a scientific article requires planning, structure, and clarity. Follow the standard format for easy comprehension, right? And then revise thoroughly for a professional finish. समजा तुमच्या कोणी मित्र असेल तर गुरु असेल तर त्यांना थोडा दाखवा. Before you submit it, show it to them. Then it can be done very proper. Resources and tools, that is citation tools, endnotes, etc. Then writing aids, ग्रामरली वगैरे हे सगळं आपण ते हे यूज करतो, ऍप्स यूज करतो, और फॉर चेकिंग द प्लॅगरिझम etc. And how to write and publish a scientific paper, हे थोडा बुक्स पण काय आहे तुम्हाला तेही तुम्ही वाचू शकता. This is all about today's presentation. I hope this is sufficient and I have given justice to my topic. आणि युजली ऑनलाईन मध्ये थोडा सर्कस जास्त करावा लागतो आपल्याला प्रेझेंटरला, सो दॅट मी इतकं ट्राय करतो माझ्या प्रत्येक शब्द प्रत्येक पार्टिसिपंटला कळालंच पाहिजे. आय ऑलवेज मेक एन एफर्ट to see that every sentence of my presentation should reach to the heart of each and every participant. That is my concern. Even in the classroom also, I make the same effort. My teaching is understood to each and every student, more particularly the ordinary student, the student sitting in the last corner of the classroom. I go there, I tap on him and tell him, did you understand? In the same way here also I try on the online platform, and I hope all of you are happy with me. And if there are any questions, because already 1 o'clock, because 2 o'clock I am having my lecture in my college, I should rush to the college and give my lectures. If one or two questions we will be permitting, otherwise we'll end here. Professor Ashok, please.
Dear participant, अगर आपको कोई क्वेश्चन है तो प्लीज unmute yourself. I think there is no any question, sir.
Yeah, there are some comments. They are happy that they have understood. Anyway, I have given my email is there, b.t.lavani, LAWANI @gmail.com. You can send your queries, your requirement. Any research scholars, if they want any help from me, guidance from me very freely. It is available to them. My happiness is there to help the students, particularly PhD students, because I want to see their PhD thesis should be quality thesis. Because tomorrow it is coming to the academic community. Tomorrow, any other subject teachers, political science, economics, political literature, they should not show finger to our students. In PhD of the social students are not that quality. This remark should not come to us. That is my concern. I am thankful to the organizers for inviting me for these two sessions, and I congratulate them. They are doing very systematically. खूप छान चालू आहे अशोक आणि टीम. प्रिन्सिपल साहेब, शिंदे साहेब, यू आर मेकिंग ऑल द एफर्ट्स. पुण्यामध्ये आम्ही बसून करायला आम्हाला काही अडचण येत नाही, पण ते थोडा रिमोट एरियामध्ये कुठं तर बसून वाशिम, यवतमाळ इकडे करायचं अवघड आहे. आणि ते यू आर गोइंग टू डेव्हलप ए सॉर्ट ऑफ इन्क्लिनेशन ऑफ रिसर्च अमॉंग द रिसर्चर्स. It's a big job you are doing it. Congratulations.
Thank you. As a protocol, just last minute, sir.
Yes.
Sir, really, no doubt that you deepen our knowledge through the topics. So, behalf of participants, I dedicate 2 lines for you.
Thank you.
आपके विचारों का दीप जलता रहेगा. हर शोधकर्ता को नई राह दिखाता रहेगा. आपकी मौजूदगी से बढ़ा है आज का मान. आपकी मौजूदगी से बड़ा है आज का मान. शोध के क्षेत्र में आपने दिया नया सम्मान. Thank you.
Thank you.
As a
Thank you so much.
protocol, I invite Dr.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Rathod ma'am to propose vote of thanks for the session. Ma'am, over to you.
ओके सर, थँक्यू सर. माझा आवाज येतोय सर?
Yes, sir.
हो येत आहे.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Sunita Rathod, Assistant Professor working in Sri Saraswati College of Social Work. It is my privilege to stand before you to propose the vote of thanks for this enlightening session. On behalf of Sri Saraswati College of Social Work, Washington, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed resource person, respected Dr. Lavani sir, for sharing his valuable insight on the first session topic, plagiarism in research writing, and second session, how to write a scientific research paper. Sir, your in-depth knowledge and practical examples have truly enriched our understanding of plagiarism and research paper. The clarity with which you explain the type, important UGC regulation, etc., has made the topic not only accessible, but also highly engaging. I am sure everyone present here will agree that this session has not only expanded our horizon, but also equipped us with practical tools and research paper writing with confidence. I would also like to thank our organizing committee, Professor E.S. Bankar sir, Professor Wag sir, Principal Dr. S.N. Shinde sir, Vice Principal Dr. A.N. Bohrapi sir, for their planning and coordination, which made this session a success. A special mention to the participants for their active engagement and thoughtful questions that added value to today's discussion. Once again, thank you, sir, for taking the time to guide us and share your expertise. We look forward to more such enriching sessions in the future. With this, I conclude my vote of thanks and hand over respected Wag sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
हॅलो सर.
Yes.
2 शब्द सांगू इच्छितो सर.
Okay.
अशा एक्सपर्ट पर्सन मुळे आमच्या रिसर्च मध्ये खूप चांगला इंटरेस्ट येतोय आणि भविष्यात जेव्हा आमचा रिसर्च कंप्लीट झाल्यावर जेव्हा आमच्यासारखे विद्यार्थी रिसर्च क्षेत्रात येतील तर निश्चितच मी अशा एक्सपर्ट लोकांचा रेफरन्स द्यायला मला आनंद होईल की या एक्सपर्ट पर्सन मुळेच आम्हाला हा प्रोत्साहन मिळाला आणि इंटरेस्ट मिळाल्यानंतर हे देवाणघेवाण चालू राहील. खूप धन्यवाद सर. आमची टीम
थँक्यू
तुमच्यामुळे खूप पॉवरफुल होते. थँक्यू सर.
थँक्यू थँक्यू सो मच थँक्यू.
With your permission, I conclude here with an announcement that we will be right back on 1:40 p.m. Thank you.
ओके थँक्यू वन्स अगेन.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You all are welcome.
थँक्यू सर.
देशमुख सर, मीटिंग ओव्हर झालेली आहे, प्लीज बंद करू शकता.
बोल ना बोल, लेकिन आप कभी तो बताइए.